Let me. You got something else? Something else
How did I come in here?
Yeah. Hi, Joy. Hi, Dale. Hi, Amara. Happy Sunday. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Cha-Cha. Thank you for the likes already, y'all. Hi, Alicia. Happy Sunday. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi, Miriam. Hi, boss. Miss Rich. Missy? No, looks like boss Miss Rich. Hello, hello. Hi, Chris. Hi, Danae. Hi, Sam. Welcome in. Oh, Joy. I'm actually like a little hot right now. Hi, Rose. But I'm glad. I'm glad that it feels like that. Hi, Secret. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Aries. Hi, O or Zero. Hi, Kima. Hi, Christina. Hi, Tia. Welcome in, welcome in. Ooh, it's Sunday, y'all. So that means we're talking about the what's it called? The Google Form stuff. But I have to address the stuff happening on my post right now. Hi, Mimi. I have to address the stuff happening on my post right now. I don't have to, but I want to. Hi, Gemma. Hi, Kina. Hi, Keith. Hi, PC. Because baby, this is why, hi Sparkle, this is why when people be like, oh, will you make that take public? I'm like, no. No. Because y'all are gonna get on there and lose your fucking minds. Hi, All Hell Brooke. Hi, Team Candy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi, Erica. Hi, Kyla. So y'all seen I made the post. I think some of y'all already commented on. Thank you so much. Y'all already commented on. I made 2 posts. Oh, yes, Sparkle. I watched it. We watched it. Me, Chris, and our daughter. Joy, I made a post about Alan and Michelle, and I stitched an old post of mine. Okay, I stitched an old post of mine, and I was like, listen, y'all, I want you to clock how we didn't see the same level of effort from Alan once. Hi, P. Once Chris was in the villa. Hi, Luna. I'm annoyed, Luna, if I'm honest. And that's fine, like, whatever, right? I'm like, we didn't see the same level of effort, right? For a lot of things. And I've talked about this before plenty on my platform, but I was like, y'all, he is the type of person that likes to win without having to compete. Because if you, I see this a lot, right? So like, for example, you as a person that is not maybe ready for, like maybe you're emotionally unavailable or you're not actually ready to commit. Oh no, Athena, you might date someone. You might be more likely to date someone that is emotionally avoidant. Or this is when you also might see people like getting into like situationships, right? Because, well, if we were never dating, if we were never a couple, then I can't really be rejected, right? And so I said, like, he doesn't like to compete because if he actually were to compete and to lose, then he would feel like a loser, right? Where he needs to just win. So he does things in order to try to just make himself win. No, there's not a new one. The finale was on Thursday. And I really wish that they had not given us that little extra about Kenny and Janae.
For real.
I actually was like, no, please don't show me this. Oh, hi, Nikki. I'm so glad. I hope y'all have so much fun. So then I had a take that I was going to make only for subscribers. I was only going to make that take for subscribers because I was like, I don't want this to be on the FYP. But I was like, you know what? I need to put some content out for the general public. I'll make this a public take because it really wasn't that hot of a take, y'all. Thank you. It wasn't that hot of a take. It was literally just me saying, hey, I watched these interviews. Look at the body language. This is what this body language is signaling. This is what it means. This is why we're seeing this. Da 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 da. Seattle, because they're so comfy. I'm like, this is what we're seeing. Blah, blah, blah. This is what it means. And the people in the comments being so annoyed. I mean, it's a little frustrating to me. I'm going to be honest, because I feel like people come into the comments and they get mad at me for what I'm pointing out as behaviors. I can't have a Christmas feeling. We just got on like not even 10 minutes ago, Shanika. But they get mad at me for like pointing out these behaviors, and they're like, oh, you're being a bully, or oh, you're doing this, you're disparaging. And I'm like, I'm literally just saying what the behaviors are. So if the behaviors feel like they're now being villainized, then really your problem is with the behavior. Why are y'all missing that? That all hell Brooke. Season 7, happy day. And so people are like, I've had people say that like I'm like not considering his mental health, or like that I'm bullying, or that I'm like mischaracterizing him, when really all I'm doing is saying, here's the behavior, here is what this means psychologically, or like clinically, this is what this would mean. And people are pissed about it. And my thing is, I'm briefly addressing my frustration, briefly, because we're not going to talk about them. But like I'm naming it, right? And people get frustrated with that, when really what it is like, a lot of people don't want to have to admit that maybe they were duped, right? I liked him before, or I really enjoy him, or whatever. And so if I point out this behavior that's like, hey, this is what this behavior means, then they might have to reconcile with the fact that they allowed themselves to be bamboozled. Exactly. Perfect word, Joy. And so because that feels harder, and I get it as a clinician, I get it, that feels harder, it's easier to say that I'm being an asshole to him. Exactly. I do the same to everyone. Thank you for saying that. Like I literally do it to everyone. Exactly, Team Candy. And so it does feel frustrating to me when people do that. And it's why I make a lot of takes like subscriber only, but I do be feeling like some of what I'm saying is like important for regular, like other people to know, even if you can't subscribe, you know, like you should be able to say like, oh, when I notice this behavior, this is what it might mean. Like, I do feel like that's good information. And so I do this like tussle back and forth with how much I should or should not share on the public timeline. So yeah, all that to say, I'm feeling a little bit frustrated by the fact that I'm feeling a little bit frustrated. Exactly. I'm feeling a little, hi, Confused Vagabond. Exactly. I didn't even change his name yet. I was just calling him his real name, but I feel a little bit frustrated by the fact that people act like me naming his behaviors are the problem rather than the behaviors being the problem. Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying that, Tiana. Confused Vagabond, they asked how I was doing, and I said I was a little bit frustrated, honestly, and I'm telling them why. Like this goes to like how I've talked to y'all before, right? And then we're going to be off of this, y'all, because I truly am tired of talking about Michelle and Alan. I'm honestly talking about tired of talking about the Love Islanders in general. But I will say that like, I've told y'all before, right? How sometimes how white people explicitly, this is not my opinion. This is in the research. I want y'all to know that a lot of times when I'm saying shit, it's not just because I think it in my head. It's because it's the research. It's because of what I have studied. I'm not just saying this shit. It is exhausting, Adelaide. But a lot of time, like white people, they'll be more offended at you saying that was racist than with the actual racist behavior. Do you understand? And people get offended at the naming of the behavior rather than the actual behavior. And it's frustrating to me, especially because I have a lot of people in my comments that want me to remember that he is only 23, as if when I fucking said that, 4-6 weeks ago, y'all wasn't on my head talking about he's so emotionally mature though. When I pointed that out 4 to 6 weeks ago and how that it might impact his communication skills in his relationship dynamic, y'all wanted me to act like, oh, that's not a big deal. Ignore it. It's fine. He's emotionally mature for 22. Yeah, he is. It didn't change what I said. But now that he's actually in the media doing exactly what the fuck I said he would do because of his age, now y'all want me to be like, well, he's just a kid. Which the fuck is it? You don't get to flip-flop because somebody is your fave and you're trying to protect your own feelings around me naming it. Didi, don't get cussed out because I'm not in the mood today at all to be cute with y'all. I promise. Hi, K Boogie.
I'll remove her.
Thank you.
Mute.
And so that feels frustrating to me when people do that, because, and again, I understand that maybe some people I'm coming up on their FYP for the first time, right? But I want y'all to understand that it's not personal. K Boogie, the comments on my last video. The comments on my last video. So I just need people to understand, like, it's not a personal attack against you because I'm saying this is a behavior and this is what it means. Also, thank you for saying that. Hold on. Where did it go? I'm a psychologist. You provide a service for the younger gens who speak with no idea of consequences. Thank you, Seattle. Because that's literally the point, right? Is I'm pointing things out so that then you can move differently in your regular life. Thank you, Jay. Exactly, Cha-Cha. Is he a kid or is he mature? Let me unhide your comment because I don't know why TikTok hit it. Approve it. It's like y'all are moving the goalposts because now you're upset because I am naming something you don't like about someone that you are clocking as a fave. But y'all know on this page, I say all the time, everybody can get it, even my faves. Even my faves. I have critiques about Nick. The only person I haven't critiqued probably is Olandria. And I did, okay, you approved it already? Why is it not showing that comment? People can't understand what you're saying because critical thinking doesn't exist in their head.
I didn't even see it. I don't know what's going on.
Exactly, thank you. I don't know why it keeps filtering y'all's comments out. I've been doing the same thing to everyone. But now because it's someone that you think that is your fave, that if what I'm saying is true would challenge how you feel about them, you don't want to hear it. That's cool, but don't come in my comments projecting. Thank you for saying that, Snowy. Hi, Tata. Don't come into my comments projecting. Thank you so much for the gifts. Like, it really is, honestly, y'all, like, to your point, like, this is labor. I hope he is, Bobos. I hope he is reading the comments and that he is using it as a way to, because I've said to y'all plenty of times that I believe he is someone that can grow. I believe that. I have to. I want to. I hope he is using it as an opportunity to be reflective. I haven't seen that yet, but I hope that he does. Thank you, TT. I don't know why it is filtering out so many of your comments.
That's this one right here? This person? The I am glad.
Yeah, you see how it like has a little eye. So I'm approving them, but I am having a Christmas feeling, Tata. Thank you. You're right, Ebony. Those who are ready to learn will enjoy your videos. As for everyone else, thank you so much, Lamdy. We got to leave them behind. You're right. And I'm just a human, right? So this is me like being my full human self. Ooh, Sterling. Yes. I mean, about what exactly though, I guess. I mean, some books that I keep saying I'm gonna make the video. I swear, y'all, I swear I am. Really what it is y'all, I have like a bunch of articles. I have a bunch of articles from, exactly. I'm really glad now you're giving us the real idea of Alan. You used to defend him. I don't know why though. I mean, I feel like I always try to approach from like a space of nuance, right? Of like, yeah, this is a problem in his behavior, and I do want to believe that he can like grow. I want to like be able to say the full spectrum of things. But now, like I've said to y'all right now, the more that we've gotten more information that is not filtered through like their social media, like his crew of social media people, now I get to have more of a like picture. Exactly, Ebony. Two truths can exist at once. And I feel like I generally do a pretty good job around that, even when it frustrates people. Okay. Anyway, I'm tired of talking about Judas and Delilah. I don't know why this is so. Why do you keep doing that? Stop filtering. Okay. The betrayal from both of them, Seattle. The betrayal. Okay, to understand more human behaviors, critical thinking, and fiction and nonfiction. Okay, I'll write it down and I'll work on it and I'll make a video. I need to make 2. Seattle. Okay, y'all. So somebody sent in exactly, Ebony, and it's odd to me. It's odd. Many people start malfunctioning once you mention their faves in ways that are not favorable. I call them Tark. I think that's so funny that y'all are calling them Clayler. I did see what Alandria's mother said, and I'm glad. But I mean, this is like reality, right? Like Alandria's mom, like they had people before the villa. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're going to have people in their corner that are going to support them and give them guidance. Hi, Anika. Miss Felicia, exactly, Joy, boy. Miss Felicia said, not my daughter. Not my daughter. Oh, books around healing from trauma before you get married. Yeah, y'all, if you have like certain things that you'd like to see in a video or like things that you're curious about, please feel free to inbox me. I read my message requests, y'all. Anybody that's in here that knows, like, I will respond to your messages. So yeah, will you? I'm only saying that happy day because the reality is I'm not gonna remember that when I get off of here. So will you send it in a message to me, please? I'm not gonna remember.
Not even close. And it's not on purpose.
Yes, and I do respond. Hi, Aubrey. Thank you, Aubrey, again for your comment on my post. Aubrey corrected me on my post around, hey, that actually wasn't Cookie Monster that he was with in that one video where he said Shalace in 5. I'm always open to correction. What I'm not open to is you ignoring everything I said simply because I said one thing that you don't like or that you disagree with. I'm never going to be open to that. Camilla says, hi, baby. Hi, Camilla.
Hi, what's up?
I have seen Yana the artist. I follow her. Exactly, Sterling. It's like y'all act like what it is they don't treat the social sciences like they're real sciences.
Yeah.
Thank you. All I saw was half of her face. And she looked like, you know what I mean? Like her to me. The CEO that stole the hat from the kid. Isn't this how all millionaires/billionaires become multi-millionaires/billionaires? By stealing from the people lower than them? And then he had the audacity to act like it wasn't a big deal. Yes, his statement was wild. Okay, y'all. How many people have watched the Unknown? Okay, y'all. How many people have watched the Unknown? What was it called? Unknown
Numbers.
Unknown number high school catfish?
Yes.
Oh, yes, Keisha. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. I don't know about making that public.
Making which one public?
my take on Alan and hula hoop and him saying he was uncomfortable. Oh, I'm so glad that that felt happy as Sterling. I'm so happy that that felt helpful. Yeah, that's the whole intention of my role.
Okay, Boogie said when you were live, I paused it. So you're watching it right now?
Oh, you're watching it right now, but you paused it. Okay. Hi. Hello. We don't care no more.
We don't care, no.
I tried to like post the picture. But it TikTok was like, nah, girl, you can't put this on here. Can I speak on Black capitalism? I sure will, Jasmine, but I do want to first address, I don't know if the person is in my comments. Hi, Grapes. But they sent in on the Google form, they wanted me to talk about unknown number high school catfish, that mom and the daughter and that situation. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. So y'all, I might be doing spoilers. So if you want to watch it and you're a person that doesn't like spoilers, you might want to get out.
But tap the screen on your way out.
Yes, you do need to watch it. Okay, because K-Boogie, hi Gigi. I'm the person that will go read the entire Wikipedia about something or all the episode summaries and then still watch the shit. I don't care. Hi, Siobhan. Whitney, I think he could if somebody were willing to actually hold him accountable to do that. But the coddling that I see online from complete strangers, I can't imagine what's happening in his inner circle. Okay, so y'all are okay with me doing spoilers? No, I'm the same, Sterling. My anxiety can't take it. I need to know. I need to know so that I'm not stressed out. Okay, I see you.
The show is called Unknown Number.
Unknown Number, the high school catfish. And it's about a girl and a boy that are being catfished for 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
Really violent, awful, disgusting, like catfishing of them for 2 years.
Crazy.
2 years. Now, I will say that there was like a long time in between it. And that's exactly why I thought that it might have been him, Jasmine, because I know I've heard that. I mean, that's why I thought it might have been her. It is on Netflix. I see you, Thumbprint. I will strongly consider it.
Which one? What they say?
Me making that take public about the heart rate challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all, I'm going to give spoilers so that we can have this conversation. I hope the person that asked me this is in here right now.
Did they say a word or not? I don't know. I'm gonna watch it now.
Okay, so this boy and this girl are being catfished. They start dating when they're like 12. Okay, perfect. They start dating when they're like 12. They start getting all of these messages. They're being catfished by someone. They are sending these messages from this unknown number for a while, and then the messages stop for like almost a year. I think it said like 10 or 11 months they stop. And then they start back up again, and they just become increasingly more and more unhinged, these messages, okay?
Crazy.
And let me actually, hold on. They become more and more unhinged. And hold on real quick, y'all. Okay, this is the show. They become these messages become more and more unhinged. They become violent. They get really, really, really aggressive. I mean, telling her to redact herself, telling her that she's disgusting, talking about her body. No, I know, Thumbprint. I will. They're talking about her body. I mean, yes, this is based on a true story, Whitney. So for years, they don't know who the person is that's catfishing them. They're just sending all these messages from this unknown number over and over and over again, sometimes 40, 50 messages a day. The boyfriend, the girlfriend and the boyfriend, maybe the girlfriend and the boyfriend ends up finally telling his mom what's happening. So the parents get involved at this point. The parents are at the school. They want the school to like help support them and like getting it under control, et cetera, et cetera. They're doing all these things, right? They go to the police at some point, and the police are trying to help. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, they're going on and on and on and on and on. Eventually, the girl and the boy break up because they can't take the stress of the harassment on their relationship. It's just too much, right? The relationship ends up ending. She continues to get harassed. Okay? She continues to get harassed. He continues to get harassed. He ends up dating someone else. That person's parent starts getting harassed. He ends up having to break up with that person. Finally, almost 2 years in, finally, they get cyber crimes. It's a TV show. It's a documentary on Netflix, Aubrey. They get cyber crimes involved, and they look into it and find out that it was her motherfucking mama the whole goddamn time. Her mother. And when y'all go watch the documentary and you hear what the mother was saying, her mother. Joy, oh boy, exactly. She was being so inappropriate.
Crazy.
So somebody asked me to analyze what was happening between them. No, it's a documentary based on a true story. It's a documentary based on a true story. The mother went to jail but for a very short period of time. She went to jail, I think, for like a year.
Yeah, I think it was like a year and a half.
Her biological child. Her child. Okay? Correct. She messaged her even after they finally broke up. She did go to jail for this. Now, let me tell y'all what the mother said. The mother, a lot of things. Actually, let me go back. So a lot of things. Number one, the first thing that clocked as odd to me, I knew pretty quick that it was an adult. I knew pretty quick that it was an adult. It wasn't a kid. The person had too much time on their hands. I'm about to get to that, Snowy's daughter. Too much time on their hands. And I told Chris, I said, I think it's probably like a stay-at-home mom. Like it's somebody that doesn't have a lot to do. Exactly, Joy, oh boy. I said only an adult has that much time. Because they were getting messages like during the school day. Most schools have like phone policies. You're not just in class sending 40, 50 messages to somebody throughout the day. That's not happening.
Not even like during like passing periods and shit. There's not enough time in the day to be sending that many messages.
These kids are playing sports. Like there is a husband involved, Erica. So let me tell you. So the first thing that clocked as odd to me about this whole situation is when the harassment started. The boy ends up going to his mom.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't go to her parents. Her parents find out because the boy goes to his parents. So to me, that was interesting because the harassing messages while they were being sent to both of them were targeting her. And so immediately I was like, why doesn't she trust her parents enough to go and talk to her parents about what's going on?
They don't like this person.
Like, why doesn't she trust them enough to go and talk to them? It's not a reality show. It's not scripted. It's a documentary about this story.
It's a real story.
So that already struck me as odd, that she didn't have enough trust in that dynamic to go talk to her mother. Okay? Or her father. And then the parents get involved in trying to help it to stop, right? But I was clocking in my head. I'm like, Dad must not be very involved. Because when we're watching the interviews back of the parents, it's predominantly the moms taking the helm or whatever. But it was really like odd to me. I'm like, I think if her dad was more engaged, we would not be having this happen. But then the mom says at the end of the show, she says, well, we've all committed a crime to some extent. I just got caught and you didn't.
That was her first thing that she said.
She's like, you know, like maybe some of you have like drank and then you drove, right? Like, girl, what? Dead ass, Athena. The mom was so smug. She really didn't think it was anything wrong, I believe, with what she did. Mm-hmm. She said to us, right? Well, I think that, you know, it was about me trying to protect her. Protect her from yourself. It was manufactured. The mom did end up going to jail for like less than 2 years. It was manufactured hurt. It was manufactured trauma. Manufactured distress in order to force the daughter into a relationship. Remember back to me saying, why didn't she go talk to her parents about it? That suggests that that relationship is not close. So mom saw this as a way to create fictional closeness between the two of them. If she has this distressing event going on, this person is harassing her all day long, then she'll need me. And so she manufactured this distress in her daughter's life in order to make her the person that her daughter would need. And the reality is, y'all probably know parents are people that do this. Mm-hmm. I'll give you just enough support, but not so much that you can actually do it on your own. Exactly, like Munchausen's. Exactly. Hagatha, mom was saying stuff as far as like, your boyfriend doesn't want you because you won't put out, to you're so ugly and anorexic, nobody likes you, to you should just redact yourself. It was all across the board. They did call it that. Obviously, Seattle Slim, you know I can't say that, right? But like, yeah, they did say that they thought it was like a digital Munchausen. Munchausen. This mom was manufacturing distress in her child's life. Thank you so much for 50K, y'all. Was manufacturing distress in her daughter's life in order to make her daughter need her. Mm-hmm. That question, what's Munchausen? It's a mental disorder that will make other people around them sick in order to be needed. They caught her by just doing what they should have done originally, which was looking at the fucking phone numbers and the IP addresses for where they were pinging. Like Gypsy Rose. Exactly, Joyo Boy. If you know what Gypsy Rose is, that's essentially what they believe, you know, this mom was doing digitally. So she was absolutely creating a codependent relationship, Anne, right? Creating a codependent relationship by manufacturing this distress for her daughter in order for her daughter to need her. The other thing that I think was happening is that mom looked to me like she might have been like the frumpy girl in high school that maybe never really blossomed, right? Because some of the first messages that you hear coming to the daughter are, oh, you all think you're the golden couple about her and her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Jealousy, Nicole.
Hella jealousy.
Her daughter, I mean, the girl is a beautiful girl, but she also very much fits into whiteness standards around beauty. She's thin, she's blonde, and she has blue eyes, right? Mom is none of those things. And so mom, this was one of those situations, right? Where it's like, I'm going to punish you for having access to something that I never had access to, that I feel jealous about. Love Note, this documentary is on Netflix. Exactly. Resentment. The other thing that I think was happening in their dynamic as well, potentially, right? Everything is always potentially, possibly, because I don't fucking know these people, right? The other thing that I potentially think was happening in their relationship dynamic as well. Oh, you just finished watching it, Spoiled? It's wild. It's wild. There is definitely like a high level of manipulation in their relationship dynamic. And I would never give a diagnosis, but I will say that mom had this message that she, like an email that she sent to daughter when she was in jail. And she was like, I'm mad at you. You didn't say I love you. You only said bye. But I forgive you. XOXOXO. I love you so much.
No, that was only her one kid, one child.
Yeah, I think they only had one child. She's the only child that we saw.
Yeah.
Very manipulative, Joy. Very manipulative. From the slammer, Anne. From the slammer, Athena.
But one part that pissed me off was when the police come to the house and they're starting to like try to tell her the story. Then they call the daughter out there. They're telling her that she's caught pretty much. And she's not saying that like, yeah, I did it. She's trying to like, you know, beat around the bush type shit. But then when the daughter's sitting out there and they're telling her to call the dad, just the way that she is just like trying to like love on the daughter, just like, oh my. And just like, it was so ick to me because it's like, what the fuck? You just did it to your daughter. Now you love her so much? Like, like that shit was so weird to me. She was kissing her and holding her out of, get the fuck off me. That's what I, get your ass, get the fuck out of here.
And what I thought, so earlier on in the documentary, I didn't know, obviously, that it was the mom, right? That didn't come out until much later. So earlier on in the documentary, the girl is like still kind of crying. She's getting choked up and kind of crying as she's talking about it. And I was like, I wonder if she's gone to therapy. Like, why is this still so tender for her? Then I find out it's because it's her fucking mom. And she does still want a relationship with her mother. And they stayed in contact while mom was in jail. But this goes back to me telling y'all, right? That a lot of times the abused person will want to stay in relationship with the abuser. This is when we use the word trauma. This is when we say trauma bonding. This is an example of trauma bonding because how can I believe, right? Again, how can I believe that this person is so harmful to me when I also have all these other memories that are good memories of this person?
Mm-hmm.
That feel good, but they say they love me, right? So it's like they can't, she's just a kid. Like she's still just a teenager. This happened between her being 12 and 14 years old. She was a fucking kid. And so now the daughter spends a lot of time, she already was a loner, which again, to me, this speaks to that dynamic that she didn't really have a lot of friends. Yes, she was 12 when this started. She already didn't have a lot of friends. It's definitely giving isolation. It's giving manipulation. Oh, you can't trust anybody because you don't know who it could possibly be. So you can only lean on me. You can only come to me for support. I'm your only person.
No, the dad was pissed when he found out. He didn't stay with her.
The dad was trying to get her to leave while the cops was still there. He said, because if they leave.
He was like, if they leave and I do something and you, like, we're going to be in trouble and then they're going to take her away or something like that.
He was like, we're going to both be in trouble. You need to call your parents right now and you need to go right now. So she and the dad are divorced and daughter does live with dad primarily, but she does talk to and speaks to at the end of the documentary how she very much still wants to like have a relationship with mom because she feels like something is missing for her, like as a woman.
I don't know if the boy and the girl I don't know if they were boyfriend and girlfriend at 12. Were they?
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing with their relationship is they've known each other all their life.
Yeah.
They grew up together. They were friends for a very long time, and that, you know, saying that ended up into them dating.
So like the town is so small, y'all, that the school goes from preschool up to 12th grade. It's all in one building.
Their graduating class was 30 people. So, yeah, it's a super small town. They all know each other.
Yeah. And so when we say they were boyfriend and girlfriend at 12, really this looked a lot like them doing things together with the parents. So the parents were friends and then they were hanging out together all together.
Yeah.
Do I think that it's a good idea for her to be in relationship or like in contact with her mother? I think what I did not hear addressed is that this girl needs therapy. She needs therapeutic support because I don't think that her mother, based on how her mother was talking when she got out of the clinker, okay.
Not the clinker.
I don't think that the mother, I think that there's a lot going on.
So much.
And I can't diagnose y'all, right? But there's a lot going on. And that mom is not in a place yet to be a healthy person to have a relationship with anybody, let alone the person she abused. Because let's just call it what it is. The fact that you tried to equate you telling your daughter to redact herself to people drinking and driving. It is all crime. And they do both have potentially dire consequences, but ma'am, where is your ability to just sit in it and take accountability for your shit? You feel me? Do I think the mother could be reformed herself with very intense therapy and medication? Possibly. Mm-hmm. Do I think that being in jail was a correct action? No, I think she should have gone to a mental health facility. Yep. Like a psychiatric ward.
A lot of jail time and then directly into a psych ward.
Exactly, Jenny. The mom was telling everybody that she had a job and she was working from home. She hadn't had a job in years. And this goes back to parental involvement, okay? Because dad, he didn't know she wasn't paying the bills, but then they lost their house. Then they put all their shit in storage, then they lost their storage. At some point, sir, you got to lock the fuck in.
No, for real.
At some point, you got to be like, yo, you're not keeping it a buck. I need to lock the fuck in. What the hell is going on here?
Because there's no way that he should have been that far removed from what's going on in the house that you come home to every night. You go to work, that's cool, I get it, right? You go to work, you're expecting your partner to like handle the bills, you giving her the money, whatever the case may be. But at some point you gotta know, like, okay, where is this money going? What's going on? Especially if like he said he came home and there was an eviction notice. What the fuck is going on?
He was not a truck driver and away from home. He was coming home every night.
Every night.
This goes back to, okay, y'all, I'm about to be annoying, but it's the honest to God's truth. This goes back to why all that traditional shit is only going to get you so far if your partner is Looney Tunes, right? Because when you think that it's all on the woman to do the rearing of the children and you don't have to engage and you get to be disconnected, now you got this shit. Because you feel like all I got to do is show up and eat dinner every night and pay the bills. Or make the money. Because he wasn't even paying the bills. She was doing that. Which is why she was able to get away with not fucking paying the bills. Right? So we have to be very mindful about, that's a fantastic question.
Man, for real. That was one of the first things I said. I felt like it should have been some charges around that.
Fantastic question. Erica, that never got revealed. Right. Maybe she was paying for her multiple phone bills because she had multiple phones she was texting off of.
Yeah.
Because when
that was the only thing getting paid. She made sure them phones was working.
She's like, I need to send them and she needs to receive them so the cell phones will be paid. On time. Like, so yeah, y'all, it was a lot going on in this dynamic. I do think that the daughter is going to have a lot of therapeutic work to do around this because how could you not? How could you not? And exactly, Seattle, the phones only even got found because when the husband showed up, they were like, yeah, we got her phone. He was like, well, which one? Because she has multiple. Yeah. You need to get them all.
And she didn't want to give up the second one.
She had hit the shit on the side of the house.
Uh-huh.
They didn't, Jenny. She didn't have the other girlfriend's phone number. She had the other parents. Considering how small of a town it is.
I'm sure everybody got each other's number. But she was also very involved in the town. She was very involved, especially in the school. So I can imagine that's how she got everybody's contact information, because she was the basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
The softball or volleyball, one of the two. She was a coach. She was the coaches for the kids. So I'm assuming that's how she probably got everybody's numbers.
Very involved, Erica. She tried to say that she didn't start the text messages. She just kept them going. But
her excuse was, I started them because I first wanted to, pretty much she was trying to say, I first wanted to figure out if we can find who started the text messages. If we can figure out who was the first person behind the text messages. That was pretty much like her reasoning for starting.
So she said that she started doing them again because, I wanted them to like pay attention and see if I could. It didn't make no sense. I wanted to see if when I sent it, then they would give me information. But that tells you, right, that a lot of what she was doing was about her wanting daughter to come to her and talk to her. Mm-hmm. So because their relationship was already probably not great, she was doing this in order to create a false sense of closeness. I think the mom, I do think that she had something going on in her mind about Owen. It was giving, again, even if you looked at the way that she wrote the text messages, it was giving, you're trying to be down. Mm-hmm. You're trying to be down because why are you using certain language? Because you think that that's how the kids talk today. Exactly, Sass. Exactly, Island. Exactly, Island.
Exactly. For sure.
The daughter was living a life that I think she always wishes she had had at that age. And so there was a tinge of jealousy. There also was some sabotage. I do think it was about trying to vicariously, it was about wanting to vicariously live through the daughter, but also being resentful that she did not have that life.
Erica, it did speak a little bit about her. Her mom actually was in there too, in the doc, and it spoke a little bit about how her mom spoke to like her wanting to be like the center. That wasn't her mama?
No, she looked old as fuck, but that was her cousin.
Oh shit! I thought that was her mama. Yeah.
That was her cousin. But yeah, the cousin did speak to how she liked to be the center of attention. She was like the cousin literally said, if you and I were standing here having this conversation and she was here right now, she'd be over in the corner bouncing up and down, dancing, trying to get you to look at her and give her the attention. So she couldn't stand the fact that the daughter was getting this in some ways. That felt frustrating to her. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes, y'all. So yeah, this was definitely a wild case, y'all. It unfortunately is not that unusual. She is the only child that we at least saw. Whitney, I think she is the only child. She's the only child that we ever heard anything about. They could have been protecting the other kids and like not mentioning them, but she's the only one that we ever saw. There was never even a photo with like a sibling that was like blurred out. So I'm pretty sure she was an only child. And now she's even more isolated. She's even more alone in this small ass town. How do you not have any friends, right? That's hard. You know, she's already not like a typical girly girl. Yes, Shelly, this is a true story. She's like very into sports. She's hunting with her dad, like just different than how, you know, maybe people might think a girl like her looks. Should be engaging and acting. And now her mom, because of what her mom did, and I will say that this pissed me off about Chloe's parents, is that they wanted to say that Lauren and and the dad, I can't remember his name, that they were in on it the whole time, but you were pissed when they said your daughter was in on it. So why are you now trying to put that on this little girl? Mm-hmm. I do think that she can overcome it in her adulthood if she goes to therapy. She needs intense, trauma-focused therapy. For sure. Because how can you ever trust people that say they love you? No, I want this. How can you ever trust people when they say that they love you when the first person that was supposed to love you and protected you acted like this? And then still has the audacity to say, I did it because I loved you. I did it because I was trying to protect you. I don't know how old she is now, but I think she's still in high school. Because they were still talking to the high school kids. Yeah. And given that this happened only a couple years ago when she was like 14, 15 at the time, I think she's still a teenager. Do I think she'll have a relationship with her mom? I know that she said she wanted to. It is on Netflix. She said that she wanted to have a relationship with her mom. This to me signals again that she hasn't been to therapy. Mm-hmm. And I know that sometimes is like small town shit. Like they don't necessarily understand the value in that. But that is a deep psychological and emotional wound that needs to be dealt with and tended to with a lot of care. And that's not just going to happen because I'm like, well, I love you. It's okay. It'll be all right. That's not enough.
Not at all. Not even close.
She's going to need some reprogramming. The relationship was already, you're welcome. The relationship was already strained. And so then for this to happen, yeah.
Absolutely would never. You hear me? Never. If this nigga, I wish.
I agree, Yaya. I agree. It is hard to conceptualize that your mother is your op. Exactly, Whitney. And if my mama can do it to me.
Yeah, good.
You know? You're welcome, Sean. You're welcome. Whew. All right, y'all. Any other questions about them? Any other questions about them or that dynamic? It was a lot. It was a lot. That poor girl. Honestly. Like, that's a ton to deal with at that age.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I can't imagine doing some shit to my child like that and then coming home and then me, loving on them and all that shit. And just, she's a disgusting human.
Yeah. Siobhan, a good point. Children that are abused definitely have a predisposition to experience certain things later in life. And so my hope is that she really gets the support that she needs in order to not. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got asked to talk about Jussie Smollett. Mm. No, she did not feel comfortable telling her mom. And she never went to tell her mom directly. The boyfriend, Owen, went and told his mom. Mm-hmm. And then that's how the parents got involved. Which to me was already a signal of like, these messages are attacking her. These messages are harassing her. They're talking about her. Why won't she go to her parents? I didn't understand that. But it signaled to me that the relationship is obviously strained. It's obviously not a close relationship. For real. So I will self-disclose. Like my oldest daughter had a situation happen where she was exactly in. She didn't go to either parent. But that's because I don't think dad was involved.
He wasn't.
He wasn't engaged at the level that he should have been. But my kid had a situation happen where she was experiencing a lot of like online harassment following something happening. And I'm like, she came directly to us. We asked her about it. We talked to her about it. And then we just were like, okay, we're going to turn the phone off for the day. We're going to uninstall the app. Like immediately just helped to protect her around that. But she didn't feel emotionally safe enough with her parents to go and have that conversation.
Exactly. That's what Ann just said. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for real.
Her mom is the one that did it. Do I think that Lauren knew? I don't think she knew that her mom was doing that to her. I don't think that she would have had the emotional reaction she did all those years if she had known that it was her mom the whole time. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Lady Russell. And when she was busted, she used her own daughter to comfort herself. It's sick. That goes back to that manipulation piece, right? You exist. This is what happens when parents see their children as like an extension of themselves rather than being autonomous beings. You exist as like an accessory and an extension to me. Y'all remember that one mom on that one show that we was all watching all summer? She's just like me. Everything about her is just like me. She likes everything like me. And I've mentioned before that I wonder what happens as that child gets older, what that relationship dynamic starts to look like. Because remember, Lauren's mom said to her, I'm mad at you. You didn't say I loved you. You only said goodbye. That is not something that I think is far-fetched from that other mama this summer to say. And this is what happens, right? This is what's so interesting, Lady Russell, right? It's like we see these sorts of mental health disorders across multiple people, and that gets put onto our TV screens. Like, what is our fascination with that is like one thing, right? But like, it's interesting. Well, they attempted to block the number. But the number kept generating new numbers. But what would have been the easiest thing? What would have been the easiest thing, y'all? Change her fucking number. Change their phone numbers. Change the phone numbers. Exactly. Nunya. This is why I hate when people say it's not that deep, because it is. What it is that there are people that are able to pick up on the patterns early. There are people that can pick up on the patterns early and that go, oh, I know what this looks like in a longer run, in a longer term. You know what I mean? Jesse hasn't done anything new, but he did have his documentary come out. Now, before I say anything about it, exactly, some people are just slower to see it, Keisha. Tell me, do y'all think Jesse did it or no? Tell me in my comments. Did Jesse do it? Mm-hmm. I agree, Lady Russell. Exactly, Marquisa. She's telling her daughter to redact herself, but is saying she needs me. Whitney, he was accused of setting up his own assault. Oh, hi, Sterling. Okay, I'm realizing now. Thank you. You think he did it, Erica? You decided to always be on the bench, Siobhan. Lady Russell, It gave you big doubts that he did it, especially with the twins' final interview. Or the brothers, I don't know if they're twins, but with their final interview. Lambda, you think that Jesse did it, that he did set it up? I just want to get a pulse for where y'all are at with this. Whether or not you think he actually did it. The police department always been corrupt. Hi, Ashley. Keisha, I didn't finish it, but Jesse didn't lie. Chicago PD should never be trusted. None. Okay, you don't know. You never thought he did it. You're just glad Empire ended it. Yes, Whitney, he said that it was, that they said like, Red Hat Country. You think he's innocent, Anne? Hi, Franny. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Gracie. If it's the police story versus a random black man, I'm going to give the bro the benefit of the doubt. Okay, Lilac. Look. Hi, Ryan. People are dropping in the comments whether or not they believe that Jesse Smollett set up his own assault. Yeah. Was it proven that he knew the attackers? That will help me decide. It was proven that he knew the brothers. Then the question becomes, do you think the brothers were the attackers? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to give y'all my take. I never thought Jesse did it.
And I still don't think he did.
And after watching the documentary, I feel more confident that he didn't.
Yep.
For real,
Yes.
Athena. Nicole wants to know why. Okay. I didn't see I don't think that he had, for real, Snowy's daughter, I didn't think he had anything to gain from that. And I'm just going to be honest, y'all, along with what somebody else already said. Hi, Kay, in the comments. If it's the police department, you're so funny, Bunny Smiles, that we also know this police department is super corrupt on top of that, versus this man that has nothing to gain from this, like nothing to gain from this. Why would I believe the people that have been proven to be liars?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I believe that? I will say then, if you watch the documentary, y'all, if you watch the documentary, there are independent witnesses that we never heard about when it was being publicly talked about.
Yep.
There were independent witnesses that corroborated what Jesse said, but we never heard from those witnesses. We never heard from those people. But there were two independent people that said that they had seen two white men. They corroborated what Jesse said, but that never came out in the media. Then if you watch the footage from like his apartment where he was living at the time, when the police actually gave it to the reporter that asked to be able to see it, they cut out like a 10 second time frame.
Because it jumped. It showed that it jumped.
So it went from the security guard who had corroborated what Jesse said. He said there were two white guys. I flashed my light on them when they were running past the building. This is what the security guard said.
Mm-hmm. And that was cut out.
And then when he goes to the door, that jumps and all you see is him chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the part where he shines the light and we get to see the face of the person. Why did they cut that out? Then they said nobody goes out to Snowy's point. Nobody's out at this time of night in this weather getting a sandwich. But then we get to see in the documentary the footage of him in Subway with 4 other people in there at the same time as him.
Mm-hmm.
Four other separate people also in this Subway getting a sandwich at the same exact time under the same weather conditions. It's giving a team set up by Todd. Exactly. Then when we get into he did pay the brothers. So this is what he tells us about the brothers. The reason why he wasn't allowing them, he didn't want them to go through his phone and he didn't want to disclose some things, is because he had a pretty bad drug habit at the time. And the brothers were paid because they were getting not non-legalized steroids for him because they were his trainers. But when the police department finds the brothers, they have felony charges and they have a stockhold of like weapons in their home, which was immediately going to violate them and send them back. And so you see the video footage of the brothers with the police, and the police say very directly, the police say to the brothers, now we're not cutting any type of deal with you, right? We're not cutting any type of deal. We're not coming to any sort of agreement. And then the one, he don't know how to, he can't never be no damn actor. Because baby could not lie. He's sitting in the room and he said, so they are. Y'all are cutting the deal.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation was so telling.
And if you watch, I know, you know what I'm saying, some of y'all, I know y'all are good, good abiding citizens, but I haven't always been, right? So, have you ever been in an interrogation room, the police ain't comfortable with you like that? You're not their friend. They don't do all that unless you in there running your mouth. Or unless they're using you to get somebody else, right? Or to come up with some type of story, or they're using you for whatever to their benefit, right? You know what I'm saying? Then yes, y'all the biggest friends ever. They were too friendly in that room. Too fucking friendly. Way too friendly. So for me, that was also given for me because like I said, I've been in some spaces and no, they not,
Yeah. And then the brothers do their, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember what year it was anymore, Aisha.
Yeah, this was a...
It was a while ago, though.
This about...
And their lawyer was very enthusiastic the entire documentary. She was telling them shit she shouldn't... Okay, maybe 2020. You know what? You're right, Whitney, because it was during COVID time.
It was, yeah. I was just about to say it's about 5 years ago, but yeah.
Okay, 2019, 2020. Yeah. Somewhere, yeah, thank you. I knew it was like right around when COVID was getting ready to be like a thing. Yep. Okay. So it's like, y'all, when all of that is added up and then the brothers are telling us they're plugging their book. He got on a red hat, that red hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving unreliable narrator. And the only person's story who did not change was Jussie's. And on top of that, the commander, chief, whatever the fuck his title was, the black dude that was like, oh, nobody's going out at this time of night. Nobody's going out in this weather. He ended up being exposed for like corruption, like very recently after that.
Yep.
And then apparently one of the first responding officers was like, had been in trouble for some like homophobic stuff. So it was already, there was no reason for the police department that we already know is corrupt to truly be honest about this. Reality truly is stranger than fiction, Erica. But for me, I never thought that Jussie was lying. Even when they're like, oh, this came out. Well, he paid them, da-da-da-da. I'm like, I know that the media will tell me whatever story it wants me to believe. I have to use my critical thinking skills to think through whether or not I think this is real or accurate. It just absolutely was no benefit to him. His career tanked after this. What was he going to get out of it? Exactly. And this was right when Laquan McDonald was happening, Siobhan. Yeah, I think, Erica, it was a lot of misinformation on purpose, right? On purpose. And I do think that a lot of people didn't want to believe that this could happen because a lot of people are homophobic. So they wanted to just, he's tripping. He's lying. Nobody's just doing that. People do that shit all the time. They do that shit all the time. It was more benefit to the brothers to lie and say, yeah, we'll take the ball. I'm sorry. Does anybody know any scenario where two black men walk into a police station and admit to staging an assault on someone and they don't have any sort of consequence without them being in bed with the motherfuckers? Like, can you tell me a time? Because either way, you still are part of a crime.
Exactly. It's still an assault, whether you got paid for it or not. It's still assault.
Clock it, Athena. Not in the United States, Erica, right? So for me, it was never giving, like they're on a press tour. Like it was just giving, it's laughable. Like you said, it's laughable.
I also feel like for the brothers, this was their moment to like one, like not necessarily one up, or but like to like get big, get that notoriety, because they were
Trying to be actors.
yeah, they were trying to be actors.
I don't know if they were twins, but I do know
actors.
they're brothers. I don't
They
know
were
if they're
aspiring
twins.
actors, and Jesse was an actual working actor, right? There's a difference, right? He was an actually working actor, so I felt like too, like they were trying to, this was their chance.
No. That's my answer to you. No. Don't come in here with that.
I don't even know what's going on with her, so.
No. I want you to learn how to read, friend. Go read the comments. Juanita, which Cardi B situation? And then I'll respond.
Clout is a hell of a drug.
It is. So that's my perspective on Jesse following the documentary, all the things. Tell me what's happening with Cardi beyond her fat phobia. If there's something else.
I think somebody's suing her ass, right?
Oh, she's on trial? What is she? I don't know anything about her being on trial, so I guess I can't really have an opinion about it. Siobhan, don't worry about them, girl. What is she on trial for, y'all? What's she do now?
Yes, what I thought. Somebody was suing her. I think I did see that.
I saw that pregnant waddle, Seattle.
She's pregnant?
She was waddling like a pregnant woman.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I seen that she's a meme again. No, yeah, Cardi is hilarious. An assault from when she was pregnant with Culture. So she got someone assaulted?
Or she assaulted someone.
I hope not if she was pregnant.
You know how they be.
I mean, I can't say nothing because I ran up in somebody's house when I was pregnant, so I can't really say too much of nothing.
I don't think I had to say that on camera, but okay.
They're saying that Cardi assaulted her.
She's innocent? Why do you think she's innocent?
It's a lie from the pits, even the not. The security guard at the doctor's office. I guess I can't have an opinion on it, y'all, because I don't know anything about it. Other than I've seen the memes of her in the courthouse and they're fucking hilarious. Okay, I mean, I can feel that one. I can feel that she deserves privacy. Just because she's a public figure doesn't mean that she wants her pregnancy announced to the world because you want to record her. And that's a violation of HIPAA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hi, Brianna. Exactly, Whitney. Oh, yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting that she would. I mean, I guess I will say this again, and I don't have no opinion about it, but like, it's interesting to choose to go after somebody. It's interesting to choose to go after somebody if you have no evidence to back that up. Like, the amount of money that it takes to sue somebody that's a choice. That is a choice.
For real. Because then if they find it, with no evidence and everything, and they throw the case out, that's going to backfire on her like crazy. And especially Cardi being the public figure that she is, she can, countersue for, what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay, they thought Cardi would settle. That makes sense. I mean, at some point, like, why not just let it go, though? I don't know.
Defamation of character. That's what I was looking for. She can countersue for that, and then that woman will be, hopefully she got some money. Thank you, whoever that was. Yeah, thank you.
K Boogie, I don't really think anything about Gypsy Rose. I guess I'm wondering what you mean. Y'all are funny. You're funny for that, Snowy's daughter, wanting to hear that story. Basically, I used to be young and dumb. Okay? I've admitted it. I'm a former crash out. That's why I can see it when they be doing it, right? That's why I can speak to it. And I was pregnant with my first kid, and my husband at the time wasn't shit, and he was somewhere that I didn't think he needed to be. And so I went up in there and said that. I'm a Pisces, right? But all is well. Okay, period, Juanita. Yeah, I needed that. I needed that, Athena. I needed that.
Yes, we do.
I do believe in astrology. Seattle, I am generally very calmed down. It takes a lot for me to not be calmed down. Like a lot. Yeah, Whitney, we don't. How do people fight their internal fat phobia? I did bias test speaking on Cardi. Juanita, tell me what she said because I don't know exactly what she said. That's funny, Snowy's daughter. Oh, okay. K-Boogie. I don't think they were necessary from, I mean, we've seen enough documentaries at this point to know that it wasn't, right? I feel like we've seen enough information where we know that it wasn't required for Gypsy Rose. Her mother was just doing this. I feel like we know that at this point. How do you fight your internalized fat phobia? One, like you even need to know that it exists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering too, Sass. Juanita, will you answer that question? I think you even have to know that your internalized fat phobia exists. You have to know that it's being pushed to you all the time in the public. I do a lot of this with like media literacy. You too, Seattle. Okay, that is what you're talking about. Okay.
She tricked all them doctors because she was a white woman. And then she did, she made her daughter feel like she was
sick
as well.
Yeah. I think, you can read certain things, but honestly, I think it just has to do with like, you have to be willing to deconstruct, right? So you have to, yeah, you have to be willing to like deconstruct. You have to be willing to even admit that it's there. And then you have to start asking yourself, like, you might ask yourself questions like, what do I think it means to be fat? What is the message that I have around being fat? Mm-hmm. And what does that mean, right? Getting really curious with yourself about what stories you're telling yourself about being fat and how that is contributing to your fat phobia. And trying to find out where that's coming from. And I mean, the reality is you do live in the United States. Oh, it said that you have fat phobic responses. I mean, you live in the United States. So the reality is you might, right? Like that's the culture. Well, I'm assuming you live in the United States. I'm assuming that. But that's the culture that you're raised in if you do. You have to make your brain make an active choice to not be fat phobic. As far as Alandria saying that Nick is fair skinned, why is that a problem? I don't understand why that's a problem. Thank you. I don't know why that's a problem. Are they saying it's a problem because she's just not calling him white? Like, is that not the same thing as being... Like that exactly, Ryan. It feels like a reach. And I feel like fair-skinned, right, can be any person that is like lower on the melanin spectrum. Like I don't know why that's different. Exactly, Christina. No different than saying dark-skinned woman instead of and not saying black. They're saying it's outdated language. I feel like it's people trying to find something to pick at. Because that feels odd. You're welcome, Siobhan. I mean, I've seen ever since all of this shit has been happening with Alan and Michelle and Alandria and Nick, I've seen the fan base being very, very weird. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Lilac. It's like that. I don't perceive that as her trying to give him like a proximity to blackness, if that's how people are taking it. And didn't she describe herself as I'm dark-skinned and he's fair-skinned? So that would make sense considering she didn't say I'm black. Then I would expect her to say and he's white. I feel like people are reaching. And I feel like the fandoms are looking for something. Exactly. They just want to criticize her at this point. Yeah. Because how old is that interview? And now y'all are bringing this up? Exactly. She's just talking about the contrast. They're trying to just belabor things. Y'all can't save Alan. He's already been kicked out. Yes, Sparkle, that's a great point. She's avoiding controversial words, but it's clear what she means. So what's the issue? Snowy's daughter. Now everyone's woke. Exactly. Yeah, again, I think they just want to not like her, and that's fine, but I wish they would just say, like, I just don't like her.
Right.
Lady Russell, are you worried for Clark? Y'all, I'm done. Those are all the Google questions, so if you have other questions you want me to address, please drop them in here, and I will respond, and so will Chris. Am I worried about Clark? I don't typically worry in general, y'all. So I wouldn't say that I feel worried for her just because I'm not typically a worrier. But I think what you mean is like, do I feel concerned about like the situation she's in? That's what I think you mean. Cause yeah, Brianna, I really don't. Like I'm not that, like I'm the type of person that's like, I gotta figure out how to get this money by tomorrow. I'm that person, right? Like I'm just gonna figure it out. Like I don't typically like worry in general. I didn't like that he said his move was any Kodak Black song. Don't listen to Kodak Black, Nick. Don't do this. Don't piss me off right now.
At all. At all.
Don't piss me off right now.
You should not be listening to that bum.
Find somebody else to do it. Y'all, I don't feel worried for her. I would say this. Do I think that she should be paying attention and she should have people around her? I know, y'all. I know. Do I think that she should have people around her paying attention and people that actually know her and love her being worried for her? Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that they should be. Cecily, I literally hate that. I'm gonna have to go get in his Snapchat comments because, sir, we're not having favorite rappers that are grapists and that are colorists. No. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. We don't like it. And I don't know if I'm gonna do a panel tonight. What do y'all want to talk about? Cause y'all, I'm sick of talking about the Love Islanders. Whitney, yeah, Kodak is a weirdo.
That's an understatement. That thing is a fucking.
At what point do you tell a friend you're worried about their partner? Honestly, I think you tell them right away. Oh, a recommended documentary.
We got a 12-hour shift. Oh.
No, I know, Miriam. I know.
Power to you on your 12-hour shift. What's the ones we watched recently?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch the Katrina one. Yeah, that one's on my list. I'm gonna watch the Katrina one. I don't even know if it's still. Let me pull up my Netflix. Will you hand me the thing? Definitely watch that one that we were talking about earlier because it's good. It's interesting. As you should, Snowy's daughter. Yeah, I would say tell your friend right away about your concerns. Understanding that you cannot ultimately do anything about it. Oh yeah, sure, Anne. Understanding that ultimately you can't do anything about it. They're going to make their own choices. And if they're truly your friend, okay, like you're going to navigate it how you want. But if they are truly your friend, they need to know that they have a safe space to land with you. So you can't tell them about it. And now if you don't do what I want you to do, now I'm not fucking with you because bitch, you getting on my nerves. You still with that sorry ass motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay. You got to be willing to tell them how you feel. Tell them how you feel. And you still have to be there to support them and to catch them. If that's really your friend. Okay? Exactly. You know your friends, so also tread lightly, like Christina said, right? You know your friend, you know how they're going to react, so you need to say it in a way that they can receive it. I think that we see this a lot with PPG, y'all. If you watch their interactions during Beyond the Villa, when they try to talk to Janae about Kenny, I think there's a clarity of mind for both Serena and Leah that we could say what we want to say, but ultimately she's going to do what she wants to do. And then what did they do? They were there to catch their friend when ultimately he ended up being a weirdo, right? And so that's what you have to do. Like they tried to tell her she was valid in her feelings, all that, right? But they knew that ultimately, oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad, Belle. Thank you for the follow. They knew that ultimately she was going to do whatever she wanted to do. Yeah? Okay, y'all, let me go to my list.
Oh, well, we're going to be here forever.
Shut up, Chris. Hi, Divinity. Shut up. Yes, thank you, Bunny Smiles. Tap, 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 tap the screen, y'all. There is one on here. I don't know if it's on here anymore, but it's like one of my favorite documentaries. It's about boys and masculinity. Oh God, what was it called?
Oh,
you remember the one I'm talking about? Yeah. When it's like little boys at school. That's a great question. And then I'm going to bring my panel up because they want to talk about the documentary and they want to talk about Are You My First? How can you tell if it's a trauma response versus red flags you're actually seeing? That goes to like asking the questions, right? Okay, you think it's not there anymore, Anika? It was such a good documentary. I'll make a list for y'all. I will make a list and I will, I also watched Dancing for the Devil. I thought that was pretty good. Keep going down. I'll make a list. I will make like a video. I'll make a video. You do need to be in tune with yourself in order to differentiate. So the reality is that you're going to probably feel something in your body first, right? You're going to feel something in your body first that feels like, oh, that's a Destiny. Thank you. Thank you. You're going to feel something in your body first that makes you feel like it's a red flag. Then you start asking yourself the question, okay, what is that thing that I feel? Where is that coming from? What did I notice that made me feel that feeling? What is the thing that happened to make me feel that feeling? Where is that coming from? Right? Getting curious. Hi, May. Getting curious with yourself about that. will help you to determine, is this actually happening in real life right now, or is this connected to something else from my past and I'm having a trauma response around it? That's true too, Jazz. Thank you. And always remember, two things can be true at the same time. It can be a red flag and a trauma response, because your body is having a reaction for a reason. Okay? Oh, please do, lady. Welcome to the fam. I'm glad you found us. Your body is having a reaction for a reason. It's not for no reason. Okay? So once you start asking yourself that question, you're able to determine, is this rooted in reality, or is this, yes, Gabriel Hernandez was a great documentary, very fucking sad. Very sad.
Very
and
fucking
depends
sad.
on what your tolerance level is around some stuff, right? Or is this only rooted in the past? What behaviors am I noticing either from this person or whatever that contributes to that? You know what I mean? Yes, these things are all on Netflix. Thank you. Let me pin the subscription for y'all real quick. Oh, I need to, gosh, we're way over my goal. Hold on. Let me, +5. Add 5 more. I'm just going to have to start a new one. Okay, there we go. Set. Okay. So your body is having a response for a reason. It's not coming from nowhere. Start looking at what are the behaviors in this person that are making me feel this thing. And then you'll be able to determine, is this real? Is this really a red flag? Or is it only attached to this thing in my past? Because it could be both. Okay. Thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, we are talking about thank you so much for subscribing, Lady Russell. Real quick, let me do my shout out like I do every time. Lady Russell, Snowy's daughter, Shania, Sparkle, Mish, Mimi, Nurse Brain, All Hell Brooke, Aya Papaya, New LA, Base Z's, Lorraine, Derogatory. Thank y'all all for subscribing. I feel like that's all of y'all that are in here right now. Yeah, that's the only people it shows watching. But it's not showing everybody because, like, Ann, I know you subscribe. Anywho, thank you to all my subscribers that are in here. I don't know why it's being weird. I have not talked about Shink. I don't know anything about JD. There are certain people that I do not pay attention to at all. At all. Christine, unfortunately, I cut off people as soon as I feel something's off. This protects me in a way. Yes, and...
Right.
You probably know what the rest of that sentence is. I would encourage you to just be curious, right? About why swinging the pendulum all the way in the other direction is the way that you feel most safe. And just be curious about, like, is there a happy medium? Not that I want you ignoring your bodily sensations, right? But just get curious. Okay. Y'all, so we watched Unknown. If y'all absolutely must talk about the Love Islanders, please feel free to. I'm not going to make you not talk about them. But I would love to move on from them. I would love to let them fade into the abyss. I'm ready for Love Island Games, even though, y'all, I started watching the first season of Love Island Games. I don't know, Lamika and Ann, if you have. And it's a little bit boring.
Trash.
Have y'all been watching that?
I haven't watched it yet, but I think I am going to watch it just so I can just see the difference in formats. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to watch Love Island next year, but I do want to watch Love Island Games because they said it's really more about strategy and games. And if you find love, you find love. If not, you can win and do other stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing is that I actually feel like there are a lot of people on this season that should have been on Love Island Games. Because then they could have just been honest about being there for the money and we wouldn't have had to, like, do this whole, are they scamming, blah, 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 blah. Right? We could have just watched them be on the games.
No, I actually agree with that. I do think there was a lot of people that would have been better for Love Games, not that, because just everything that's been coming out here lately about a lot of the couples, and then you seeing how some of people are interacting with each other now with the Stevens and over. I do feel like there was a lot of scamming going on with certain people, and I do believe that there was alliances formed among certain people on this season to make it play out the way it played out.
Okay, not y'all saying that JD said that he agrees with what's that boy's name? Alan, that Nick and Landry is a fake couple. That's what he said. Y'all don't piss me off. Y'all better be for real. Don't piss me off for no reason. Because JD,
I got beef with JD. He's not a proud Haitian, so that's the issue for me. You want to be all Haitian living in Puerto Rico? Boy, stop right there. We as the Haitians don't accept him, and neither do the Puerto Ricans. So nobody want his ass. We don't want him. Okay. So yeah, my nephew half Puerto Rican. He don't want you either. Let's not play these games, JD. Now they're a fake couple. Like you and Yulisa were the most irrelevant this season. That's why y'all linked up and ended up at the club together.
he was
So irrelevant.
And then I
Literally.
think JD, Nick
And was
also
at the
stopped
reunion
following
smiling.
JD too.
okay. So he's mad because Nick unfollowed him.
Yeah, Nick unfollowed him at the reunion. I really do think a lot of stuff happened during the reunion, and after the reunion, because Jeremiah said all the guys end up having a conversation after the reunion where they squashed, some people squashed some stuff and they talked some stuff through. So I really think there was a lot of stuff that happened during and after that made things come about the way that they have from here.
Okay, Anika, please. Yes, yes, yes. Pepe was interviewed by TMZ. He said the cheating was untrue. I have told y'all repeatedly, I'm not willing to believe it until it comes from an outside source.
Yeah, and I don't believe that Pepe did either, because I really do believe Iris would have said if that was what it was. During the reunion, Pepe has said that he believed that him and Iris, what they want and stuff, was very different. And she was trying to say she don't believe they were different. But if you look at them during the reunion, you can kind of tell like it was not vibing the way you think it should. Like the way they were together, it seemed very forced, he was starting to kind of drift. And you saw the same thing with Amaya and Brian too.
Excuse me, is it how do you pronounce your name?
Lamikia.
Okay, that's cute. Lamikia, yes. What was I gonna say? In the reunion, Iris looked visibly annoyed. Anybody else peep that? She was like, I wouldn't say rolling her eyes, but like looking at Iris, she looked visibly annoyed. Like she didn't want to be there or even want to sit next to Pepe. Like I don't know what was going on, but she
No,
looked
I
type
really
annoyed.
think like they were not vibing at the reunion, and then you see that she popped out and
Mm-hmm.
started hanging out with Iris. Like Iris started hanging out with Amaya and Huda.
Yeah.
Right. From what I seen, that they were partying with Helga for her birthday not too long ago, whenever her birthday was.
Y'all be seeing this. I don't follow none of them people.
Cause I don't
So
know. I guess my FYP knows I like Love Island. Next thing you know, I see Amaya and Iris talking about, oh, I don't want no scrubs. A scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me. And then of course they picked it up. You know, they talking about their scrubs, aka their exes. It wasn't me, it wasn't me. Anyway,
no, and then the thing is too, everybody's getting on Brian about him and Amaya breaking up, but Amaya told that man she loved him.
Listen,
oh.
listen.
Everybody knows that Amaya is a lover girl. So I'm not surprised by that.
It's giving
But
she
then
needs to grow up though. Like at her big ass age, you're not in love and it's been 3 weeks, sis.
you're not. It ain't no way you in love with that man. That's why I'm leaning towards she was scamming too. Cause you do not look. She was with whoever was. She wanted whoever was taking her at that point.
And I'll say this, and then we're gonna be done because y'all, I'm so sick of Love Island people. But I agree, it was a scam. It was a scheme that Todd set up. At this point, I feel like we need to start saying, I would like to petition the committee. Can we change it to a scheme that Alan set up? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know how you
Yes,
feel.
yes. A scheme that Alan set up because he thought he was scheming and he got scammed.
Right, because I saw your post, Tina, because why Alan out here talking about Shalace and Five? I didn't even catch it until my brain had processed. I said, oh my God, not you trying to steal the brand. Then I saw a TikTok clip today. This person said, and I love her videos. She said that the Core 4 was already a brand and he messed it up for himself because they were giving 90s love and
Yeah.
Nick and Olandria were on that biracial love and they could have capitalized off of it, but he didn't want to wait his turn. Sad, sad boy.
Y'all stop telling me T about these Islanders because I want to get over them. Stop telling
Oh
me
no, Tina, I want to
information.
officially say, after tomorrow, we will not discuss them. We will not bring them into the fall. Let's talk about some new shit. Who wants to talk about Are You My First? Because it was great.
I thought it was great too, but they didn't watch it and they betrayed it.
No, I promise y'all, I'm gonna watch it tonight because I do. Because you keep talking about it and it sounds interesting to me, so I'm going to
Listen,
watch it.
Tina, I had posted it in my stories and I made a post about it, and some people have watched it, and some people are like, they're not feeling it. Because
I mean,
I
it's
do
corny.
reviews. Some lady said that she feels like it's a bit invasive, but these virgins volunteered to be here. Uh, like they
Okay.
volunteered.
Okay, y'all want to know what it's about, and they do have a question. We did get a question panel about the documentary. So thank y'all for 100K. Y'all live at bomb.com. Okay. So the Are You My First is a reality TV show where they bring a bunch of, they say sexy, but I'm just gonna say singles. They bring a bunch of singles together that are all virgins. Okay. And so the entire premise of the show, thank you, Bunny Smiles. The entire premise of the show is, will you find the person on this island that will be your first? So we have extremes on this island. We have some people that are like, I've never even had a first kiss. Mind you, these people are all like 25 plus. I think at least 24 plus. They're much older. We have some people that are like, I've never even had my first kiss. Yes, with me. And then we have some people that are like, I just haven't done the do, right? So it's a lot, it's a big range on the island. I will say that it felt to me too rapid. It was like they were there for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, honestly. And they expected them to not only find their person, but to then decide to couple up. And then they also had them like meet each other's families. It was a lot in a very short period of time for people that are like have never done anything. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. Thank you, Courtney. So yeah, it basically is like Love Island, but they're all virgins.
Pretty much.
It was very intense in a short amount of time.
So my question with that is because it's giving almost like too hot to handle, except they're encouraging you to do the most in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's like, so I've only seen, I think I've seen like one season of Too Hot to Handle. And that's when like this one girl, I don't remember her name now, but she had been on another reality show that I thought she was funny on. So I watched her on that show. But yeah, it's a lot of them are like LDS or they're Mormons, but some of them are not. My favorite person from the season is Farha. She was my
Moment
favorite.
of
Farha is
silence
a virgin
for
on the show,
Farha.
y'all. She's
She's
a
a
virgin.
queen. Bow
She's a
down to the
queen.
queen.
A queen.
Queen. Queen. Very sex positive virgin. I know it sounds very oxymoron, but you just gotta watch. She has an OnlyFans. She's the best. I don't care what nobody says. And you know what I like? Her quirkiness and the fact that she's like, yeah, I just like to watch men and sadistically do stuff. I'm like, she's an evil genius. I love it.
She is so fucking funny. She's like, I hate it. So they have like one, hi, they have like one challenge where they have to do like a roast. And she's like, this is great because I actually hate everybody on this island. So
Man,
now they're
she's
just
about to
gonna
go
think that I'm
weird.
doing jokes, but really it's how I feel about them.
But they cut
You
her
know what got me? It was when she self-sacrificed. She's like, you know what? I'm ready to go home. She didn't even give a F.
Oh,
She said,
fuck.
fuck all y'all.
She's like, actually, I'm just gonna leave and go home. She was leave, y'all. I don't care. I don't care. They are not pressured to have sex. The entire premise of the show is just to find your person. They do give them
They're
opportunities.
encouraged,
They could,
but yeah,
but they
they don't
don't.
have to.
Nobody does. Basically, Whitney, it's a free vacation, and only 2 couples ended up coming out of it.
Right, and unlike Love Island, they were more focused on emotional connections, so it wasn't as freaked out. So I
Yeah.
actually enjoyed that better. The good part is it is from the same producers of Love Island USA, so it's gonna feel familiar. The only thing is it's just virgins. I enjoyed it.
It was
I
funny,
have
y'all.
I have a question about a different show.
Yes, K Boogie.
I was watching a TikTok and it was talking about some of the most unhinged shows from the early 2000s, and they mentioned like Super Size versus Super Skinny. What was the point of that show? Please somebody tell me. Cuz
I
there was no resolution.
What's the name of the show again?
Super Size versus Super Skinny. I do remember Biggest Loser, but I don't know if I remember Super Size versus Super Skinny.
Yeah, I know.
They would bring on the like most morbidly obese person versus an extremely anorexic person, and then have them swap their meals for like a week, and then give them no like psychological or like physical treatment for either of their issues. It was kind of like, okay, try this. Congratulations, you're done. Go home. And I just don't understand. Like, what was the point of the show? You didn't help anybody. You just made a woman really hungry and another woman really full.
Bananas. Listen, I will say this as a person that y'all know I was born in the late 80s, so I was a teenager in the 2000s. The culture around bodies at that time was wild. The fact that they were ever calling Raven Simone thick or like overweight was actually crazy.
Yeah, as somebody who was like, I was on the cheerleading team at that time, and my cheerleading, mind you, I look bigger than what I was because I'm only 5'even. But she told me that I was overweight, but I only weighed 100 pounds. It just looked different on me because I was only 5 feet tall.
Right. And then there's also like another show that I'd never heard of until TikTok. It was called Butterface, and you were supposed to guess like the woman with the beautiful body but the ugly face. And she had a paper bag on her head. And when she took the bag off of her head, she was like, she wasn't the best looking person, but she also wasn't ugly. I think they just don't know what foundation looks like in the early 2000s. So it was kind of just a woman. Like, you wouldn't look at her twice if she was walking down the street, but that's because she was just walking down the street, that kind of situation. I don't know. The early 2000s was really freaking weird, and I don't know how to feel about these shows.
The culture of the time definitely, it makes it interesting. We're gonna look back on all the shit we're watching now in 20 years and be like, what the fuck was going on?
Another show. I'm sorry. I am chronically on my phone. My job is a sit down job where I can watch TV the whole 12 hours. And I also work night shift, so it's also terrible. But I don't understand The Summer I Turned Pretty. I watched half of the first episode and turned that shit off. I'm not gonna lie. I just
Tina, don't roll your eyes, please, because people have recommended it to me, and what I have said is from the Discord that I've seen on TikTok. This really nice. Obviously, she's one of us. By one of us, I mean this black woman. She was basically dissecting how white women are allowed to date. That she dated the brothers, and she's not judged for that. But in our community, we would be judged for that. I remember, Tina, I saw a video that you said you're gonna try to get into it because I believe one of your followers may have recommended it. So what are like your thoughts?
I'm watching actively the show, and every time I have to watch an episode, I'm pissed off at y'all for recommending that I watch it so that I can give y'all feedback around it. Okay,
She literally talks shit. She literally talks shit every time she watches it.
it pisses me off. It makes me so angry. The Summer That I Turned Pretty. So I will say this I have so many thoughts, and I'm going to start making videos about it because it is, I know, insanely popular right now. But basically the premise of the show is this girl has always been in love with one brother, and now the other brother also apparently loves her. And then she goes from dating one brother and smashing him to dating the other brother and smashing him, but maybe there's still something with her and the other brother. It's a lot. I started from the beginning. And so I'm just now like maybe halfway through the most recent season, the third season, because I had to go back and watch all of the first and the second season of the show. I will say that it definitely gives to me, there's a lot of things that I think I actually hate about this show. One of the things that I hate the most though about this show is how much it gives. We don't have to have Black people in the show. We'll just adopt Black culture into the show. Like the way that they talk is weird. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Talking about her outfit is snatched. I know there are no Black writers in the room because that's not how we use that word, right? But y'all are just using words that you've heard because you think it's Gen Z lingo rather than appreciating where it actually comes from and using it accurately, right? The other thing that I think is really interesting in that show is the dynamic between her and her best friend, especially in the first and the second season. Exactly. And then it's like, of all the people in the world, Lilac, there are so many people. Why are we doing it to brothers?
So I actually like in the first episode, since there are so many clips out, I already knew about the book. I didn't read the book because I was like, this sounds stupid. But seeing all the clips and stuff, and then watching half of the first episode, I was like, why didn't she just get with the dude that she told she was going to the party with?
Everybody's like, are you Team Jeremiah or Team Conrad? I'm like, I'm Team Cam. Why is she not with Cam? Why is she not with Cam? And the crazy part is that they're not in a small town. They live in fucking Boston. They're just in the small town over the summer.
I noticed that too, and I was like, why did she have to be with two different brothers? Why couldn't you bang the one you were obsessed with and then go home and find a boyfriend? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I can't watch this show. I cannot. I can't. Because it already stresses me out that this dude bought her the smallest ring on this planet because you guys are like 16. But like, also, the other dude is rich.
Hold
You
on.
could have just gotten a bigger ring from him, and you were already banging him first. But like, go home and
Erica
find a
said
rich
this
dude.
was a book. This
It is a
atrocity
book.
is a book.
Yes.
That's wild. That's why that I feel like that makes it worse.
It does make it worse.
I mean, y'all, I will say this. You can definitely go hate watch it. You can hate watch it. It's corny as fuck.
Tina, I trust you, but I will definitely not waste my time. I'd rather actually read a book. I'm not gonna deal with these palm colored people. I ain't gonna hold you. I have to actually like the show, and this is not it. This is not it at all.
It's
I
bad.
said the same thing about her being able to do this because she's white or, white and Asian, whatever she
Exactly.
is. Because, like, and I said this in the comment section, and you should have seen. By the way, hi Tina, hi Chris. I'm so happy to be back in the live. But I said the same thing. I said this in the comment section, and the comments I got back, you would have thought I called her like a bed wench or something. Like, I literally just said, stop messing with these brothers. Like, just leave them alone. And they were like, you're misogynistic. You wouldn't say this if blah, blah, blah. So many things. And I was like, no, I'm really just Black. But we don't have to talk about that. Like, insanity. I kind of hate watch the show at this point. I kind of liked it in the beginning, but it has just become so insufferable that I'm only finishing it because this is the last season.
Okay, is this the last season ever? They're not coming back?
I think so, because there's only 3 books,
Thank God.
but who knows?
Thank goodness. They only need the 3. They
I
need
will say this. It seems like it's a common theme in a lot of young adult shows with white adjacent minorities to date between two brothers. Because if you see My Summer with the Walter brothers, Walter boys, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing, except instead of the boy's mom's dying, it's her mom that died.
Also, I want to say, Snowy's daughter please put some respect on Gossip Girl's name because it was actually good. It was just also cringe at the same time. This show is not good and also cringe. So we cannot compare the two. Pretty Little Liars and was a disaster. I could not watch that show. It was doo-doo garbage.
Don't do this.
What?
Don't do this. Don't do this.
I'm sorry. It was
What was
doo-doo
doo-doo
garbage.
garbage? What was
How
doo-doo garbage?
Do not
Pretty
do
Little Liars
like
was
this.
doo-doo garbage.
Oh, let's
and you
fight. Let's
cannot
fight.
convince
Let's
me
fight.
otherwise.
Pretty Little Liars has been part of my life since I was in junior high school. I just rewatched it as a 29-year-old adult. Don't play with me. We can fight K Boogie.
Girl,
It's a
you
good
should
show.
leave me
Pretty
in the
Little
back.
Girl,
Liars
I like
was
mysteries.
camp.
I
It was
like mysteries.
camp.
Okay, but
No,
no
cut
one
it
can
out.
argue
We
with
can
me
fight.
about the fact that where did Spencer's random twin sister come from?
Right. Okay, you're right.
Allison was
And
always
Drake didn't
supposed
make
to
no
be A.
sense at the end. And Drake
But that's
made
why I
no
said
sense at the end. I'm not
they
even gonna hold
dragged
you.
it. They dragged it for too long.
They needed to end it sooner. I will give you that.
But
Yes.
Allison was
Funny
always
enough-
supposed to be A, and this random Alex creature comes out of nowhere and builds a dollhouse for humans. Yeah, they're weird.
The ending was awful. I will give you that. And Ezra and what's
Yes.
her name, Arya's relationship, that was
Okay,
trash.
we have
It
to
was
talk about that. We have to
predatory.
talk about that because Lucy Hale
Crazy.
and the guy who played Ezra, I forgot his name in real life. They both said they didn't regret doing the show. I guess not because you got the money. But Mr. whoever played Ezra, I don't know his real name, but I am a fan of Lucy Hale. I like all the girls still. However, you didn't think it was inappropriate to be dating your student, and the age gap relationship is very freaking cringe. It's like, really?
I
Really?
started rewatching Pretty Little Liars like last year, and I was just watching it just to rewatch it because I watched it when I was younger but never finished it. And then there's a
Same.
skyscraper by my building. There's a skyscraper by my apartment complex, and as I was driving down the road one day, all the lights were off in it except for the letter A. And I was like, no, I'm gonna have to stop watching this. I don't even have secrets, but I'm gonna need them to stay buried.
Hey, Whitney, the spinoff on HBO was actually doo-doo garbage as well. It's all doo-doo garbage. I'm sorry. Y'all can
Are
meet
you
me in the
talking
back if
about?
you really want to fight.
Are you talking about the spinoff where they went to like college, or did they have something after that?
I think it was the college one. I'm sorry,
That
doo-doo
was
garbage.
ass.
Yeah.
That was ass.
They need to stop rebooting the
Wait, aren't you talking
2000
about
shows.
the original Sins? I think it was called
I
on
believe
Yes.
HBO.
so.
Oh wait, no. Whitney's
Okay.
saying this is something with new people. Oh no, I haven't watched any spinoffs with new people.
Well, the one that I did like, I did end up watching Caleb's spinoff, Ravenswood. It was only one season. It was to be honest, it was a better mystery to me. I felt like they could have did that. And I did like Pretty Little Liars Perfectionist, but it only lasted one season. Because
Okay, I
that
think that's what I'm talking about. Pretty Liars Perfectionist. Is that the one that came like right after?
Yeah, that was the one that came like maybe a few years later, when Allison was the teacher at the college and they
Yes.
started getting it was like they were like the new generation. They were
Yes.
getting the text from A and stuff like that. That one I liked, but unfortunately it only lasted one season. Ravenswood was the spinoff
I do
before it only
remember.
lasted one season because I like Caleb. But I never watched Original Sin because I'm like, why are we going back in time? I don't get it.
They act like there are no fresh ideas that they can put on.
Exactly.
Okay, let me get it.
Um,
They act like there are no
when
original
it
ideas.
I
when it comes to reboots, only a few reboots I feel like, in my opinion, have been good. I enjoyed Fuller House, Raven's Home, which is the reboot of
Mhm.
uh what you call it? That's a Raven.
That's right.
I also, what else did I like? Fuller House always comes to mind for me because that's such a great reboot. I like Bel Air. If any of y'all watch
I
Bel Air
love
on
Bel
Yes.
Peacock, I feel like I'm
It's
waiting
in
for
its
the fourth
last
season. I feel
season.
like
It's about to have its last season.
yes, I'm so
That's a
sad. Bel
great
Air,
show.
Bel Air is well done. Yes, Whitney. I also like Louder and Prouder. That's one of my top 5 reboots. Louder and Prouder is so good.
can
What
I
else
say
is there?
something about the show you guys were just talking about,
Yes.
The Summer I Turned Pretty? I read the books as a kid, so I read it years ago. And one of the points that you guys were making that like this only seems to be like something that white people can get away with, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people. Sorry, my fire alarm's going off. Okay, never mind.
Just come back. Okay.
Burning something up.
I agree. So Snowy's daughter said this is why teens are watching adult shows because no one is creative. There was actually a creator on this platform that was talking about that directly, how they are not making like tween shows anymore, the way they used to when we were young. So they're watching stuff that's really out of their range of what they should be watching because they don't have the same level of content that we had access to. Okay, Sterling, share your thoughts.
Okay, so I was saying how like you guys are saying this is like only a white thing, and I feel like that's such an important conversation to have because I feel like as Black people we do hold our community to a higher standard, and sometimes when people are not going within that standard, they are angry at they're angry at the Black community for not being able to do the things that their white counterparts can do. For example, I don't know if you've heard of Gorgeous Doll.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Gorgeous Doll was she was a midnight ballerina who dated Future, and she's on TikTok, and she would like talk about her different like explorations with different like famous men and things of that nature. And one of her complaints was that like, oh my God, one second.
One of y'all said it's because they don't want to pay writers. They don't want to take the risk on all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with Gorgeous Doll, I liked Gorgeous Doll's content, but one of her complaints was that she was a Black woman and there was this like a white counterpart to her of this woman who basically did sex work and would come on line and talk about her experiences doing that. And she was like, and nobody is talking about this woman and she doesn't get hate. And it's like, you guys have completely different audiences, right? And you like so many like Black creators want to get away with the things that their white counterparts are doing, and it's just like you guys will not be held to the same standard. And I feel like that's something that a lot of us don't really talk about because like even when things like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, P. Diddy getting in trouble, they're like, well, they have white counterparts that do the same thing, and it's like, okay, we shouldn't be saying they should get off. We should be just expecting white people to hold their people to a higher standard.
Right. Right. I think we see this in some of the dialogue about our islanders, right? Is how people are like, well, don't this or don't that, like the person that came on my panel the last live, right? And really was leaning into Alan's like Blackness and us wanting to like consider those things. And it's like, yeah, and like he needs to be held to account the same. Just because other people get away with things doesn't mean that we need to let him get away with things.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel because I saw another woman talking about like if anybody was getting bullied, it was Alan because he was being bullied for his height the whole time. And it's like, no, he was the only one bringing up his height for the most part, and then people just corrected the fact that he wasn't that height. Like you cannot be a liar and manipulative and think people are just going to have the loyalty to uphold your lies.
Can I speak to this for a minute?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
of course, I'll go on mute.
Okay, so that's kind of been my take the whole time. I think what we got, and just speaking of Love Island and seeing the difference between Black and let's just say palm color people, is that there was such a huge win for us as a community last season in getting two Black couples to the finals, and having them come out with their PPG and great relationships. I think he wanted to capitalize on that. And I think that's what this rollout was this week, going from Essence to Crown Royal to Speedy. All of these are within our Black entertainment. And I think he wanted to lean on that and say, hey, you guys are upping this interracial couple when you have this great Black couple right here. And I even said in one post, I don't even think any of this was about at all. I think it was he wanted to get two Black couples to the final four, and he wanted to be him and Taylor. And the strategy just didn't work. And so he had to pivot. And he pivoted to championing Nicholas and Alandria. But ultimately, his goal was to have a resurgence of season 6 and come out with the fanfare, and it didn't happen. And, you know, I've said this time and time again. Unfortunately, he allows his ego to drive instead of business acumen. And that's going to be his downfall every time. And as much as I love black love, I'm in a black marriage myself. I also want us as black women, especially, to understand that black love does not have to supersede me loving myself and me finding love for myself in whatever shape, form, color that comes in. And when you say black love overall, you kind of discount all those other people out there who find love in other places, because all we're all trying to do as human beings is to love and be loved. And if I'm not getting that out of my community, then I shouldn't be faulted for looking elsewhere. All right, I'll get off my soapbox.
No,
That was
that's a great point. Sparkle, it's not letting me mute your mic, so I'm gonna drop you. Will you re-request again and just come back up, please? Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great point, right? So like, y'all know I'm sick of the Islanders. Tiffany, I see your comments about Bramaya. I will say that, like, right, but to y'all's point, right, this is why the summer I turned pretty, this girl is able to, again, this is why the way reading books is important, right? Yes, and you can go next. Reading books is important, right? Because what you see in this media, because books are a form of media as well, right? It's a curated, it's a crafted story, right? The way that it's playing out, the fact that she has access as this Asian girl, this young girl, which we'll say is more white adjacent than blackness, right? She has the ability to do this flipping between brothers, whereas in our community, that would be like some hood rat shit, some oh, she a homie hopper, you know, like the connotation would be much more negative. And yet we have people, an entire fandom, that are like, oh my gosh, what a love story. I'm team this brother, I'm team that brother. And it's like she only has access to do that because of her adjacency and proximity to whiteness. And this goes to like what we see with the Islanders, right? Like they're allowed to do and not do certain things because of their proximity to whiteness. We saw this with hula hoop, right?
Tina,
And
can I
so,
say something to that
yes,
point?
yes.
So the flip side of that is how television and entertainment in general fetishizes and sexualizes black people in such a way that, as a viewer, when you're looking at someone who's not black, who has this turmoil between two brothers and she's trying to choose and she's bed hopping back and forth, this feels more like an American Cinderella princess thing. Whereas when you see it with black people, it becomes more about who she is sexually. Oh, then she's got to be a hoe. Why else would she be doing that? Instead of recognizing, as women, we all have the ability to feel that way, where we can maybe love two people at the same time or hop from bed to bed. Where it's as if they want us to be monotone, one tone, and that's the only box we can sit in. Anything, and I think that's the problem with Olandria. It's when you try to push out of that box and say, I'm more than that. I listen to rock music. I go to disco. I do this. I do. That's what's hard for America to really comprehend, is that black people are just as diverse, but because they have made it such a point to say we are singular, if one black person does something wrong, it's all of us. We're the only community that does not get afforded the ability to say, I'm an individual. And I don't agree with every black person. If I did, I'd be up Candace Owens' ass. I don't believe what every black person says, right? So I don't get to have individuality, which means I don't get to have individualized sexuality either. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's sweet when it's somebody else, because that feels like the typical princess American dream. But we've always been looked at as the bedwenches. We were the ones that served the master, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get too far into Black history, but I think what we were talking about before with fat phobia, you really have to. The only person you don't need to lie to is yourself, because yourself is not going to tell. So learn to take a beat, sit with yourself, and be honest with yourself. Ask yourself those tough questions. And it's okay if the answer comes off as racist or biased, but at least you know where your barometer is. At least you know where to gauge from and where to move the needle in a more positive direction. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. Please
No, you're
continue.
good. And I know you want to share your thoughts. I agree with all of that, Jazz. I think that this is why we saw so much conversation around Alandria now coupling with Nick, right? And how, oh, this must now mean something about her as her character, because she was even in some semblance of a relationship with Sierra, but we don't hear that same conversation around some of the other people, right? And please share your thoughts.
Hey y'all. Okay. First, I'm gonna say I did take my time today to watch the Austin interview because a nice lady on TikTok said, watch it. It's one of the best interviews. And I'm gonna have to agree. The guy who watched the show, the short guy, he did a great job asking questions. I got to know Austin for, his addiction in the past. So clap for him for being sober. I like the way he answered the questions. So I'm just gonna say a few things that I learned. I was surprised to learn that he said Pepe and Ace put on for the cameras. Not really surprised by Ace, but surprised by Pepe. He did say that Pepe is also a flirt, which he didn't appear like that on the island, but people have called him jokingly the blonde widower. I get it. First it was Hannah, then it was Iris. You know what I'm saying? And then Shelly got the blonde wig. We don't know. What else did he say that was really important? He said that he didn't enjoy being in a love triangle, but it wasn't because of Shelly. He just thought that it was exhausting, the back and forth that Michelle and Alan were doing. So that part. What else did he say that like? Yeah, that was pretty much kind of like the shocking reveals. Oh, also the really important thing, I think Tina, you also did a video about this. Him saying how verbally abusive Amaya was. It was giving Helga energy. That apparently they made Amaya on the Stand on Business challenge appear to be the victim, and whole time she was cursing him the f out, talking about get the fuck out of my face, this and that. Remember when she went off at Zach A talking about he's a very odd individual? Well, apparently, Amaya, you're the odd individual. That's wild. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very disappointed in myself. I need to work in my EQ because I fell for Amaya. And then when she walked out the island, I'm like, where's the baby voice? What had happened? Y'all, I got. I feel duped, bamboozled, taking a fool, however you want to say it, because she got me.
It happens to all
Yeah,
of us.
she had went off at Zach K and Austin, and apparently they gave her the sympathetic edit to make her the victim. How dare they? They also gave my girl Olandria the pick me edit because I'm like, I was yelling at my TV. I said, Olandria, stop being a goddamn pick me. You're so beautiful. Why you let Chase this? Whole time I got by production. Can you believe
Can
this? And
can
then
I say
apparently,
something?
Hold
Oh,
on, Sterling.
sorry.
Hey, Boogie wants to
Yes,
go
ma'am.
next.
2 seconds,
Hold
Sterling.
on, Sterling.
Okay.
Turns out, whole time, production and Tay Tay and apparently Alan were involved in the taking down of this black woman. Tina, I did send you a video. I don't know if you got it because you usually respond, but this girl that I follow, she basically ran down from season 2 that there is a pattern of Love Island loves a dark skinned black woman winning, either if she's a white man or a black man. So Justine won with a with a light skinned man on season 2. Then she went on Love Island Games and won with a white man. Either way, both relationships failed. But apparently,
It was
the
the
Love
same guy,
Island.
and his name is Justin.
Oh, okay. Wait, it was both times.
It was the
Yep.
same guy. He played her twice.
Get the bleep out of here. Thank you so much, Jazz.
They're saying
Oh, he was
about
biracial. Thank
Caleb
you,
and
T.
it was Jack in Love Island
Yeah,
Games.
Jack, not Justin, but it was the same guy. And he played her both times. He used her, and
Yeah,
she
cause
pretty
cause
much
I
came
did
out and said
watch
it.
I did watch Perfect Match, and what I did see on Perfect Match is that Justine was trying to warn AD because she's being the biggest pick me getting with Ali. I know they're engaged and they're pregnant right now. If y'all know Ali and AD, Ali from Love Island, not Love Island. I watched it so much. Love Is Blind UK and AD from Love Is Blind USA. Um, it's just a lot. Last thing I will say, I'm watching this documentary, and I'm not gonna lie, it's low key triggering. Um, because I grew up with a narcissistic father, I was in an emotionally enmeshed relationship with my mother. How do I know all of this, y'all? My therapist. Yeah. So I get it. You know, I've never had parents with Munchausen's, but I get growing up sheltered and being under, you know, a lot of control. And has anyone watched years ago this came out, 13 Reasons Why?
I never watched that.
Well, it was super triggering. I like to say that it's my life, but the only difference is I chose to live. So, 13 Reasons Why, like quick synopsis, is basically about a girl who was cyberbullied about schmexual stuff. Similar thing happened to me in high school. And I was, you know, having unaliving problems too. And, you know, I chose to live. She obviously unalived herself in the shower, cut her wrist or whatever. At that point in time, I think it came out in 2013. Unaliving was very polarized at the time because of it. It was very glorified. It was triggering AF for me to watch it. I'll never watch it again. But seeing this person being catfished and knowing that I've been cyberbullied in high school, it's so hard. And the minute you said that she didn't tell her mom, I was like, she doesn't feel emotionally safe. I get that. I've been there. I am there. I plan on going no contact with both parents. Tina already knows at least about my mom. So I don't know how she found so much grace. I think I'd be able to forgive my mom, but I don't think I'd be able to speak to her again. So yeah, that's it.
I mean, I will say, and I know K Boogie, you're gonna go, and then Bad, and then Sterling. I will say that I know she's still super fucking young, right? Lady Aries, we are talking about a mixture of things. We're talking about a mixture of like Love Island and The Summer I Turned Pretty, and also the documentary Unknown Number High School Catfish. So yeah, I know that she's super fucking young. And oh yeah, and just brought up 13 Reasons Why as well. So I know that she's really young and like things might change. I will say that. Okay, K Boogie, give us your thoughts, please.
Hey y'all. I first want to say I'm really tired of the Love Island discourse. I do not care about Alan. I do not care about Michelle, about Hagrid, about I'm sick of them. Secondly,
I love that name.
Secondly, I wanted to talk about a book that I've been obsessed with since I was 11. It's a urban book. I hate that they call Black books urban books, but whatever. If you guys know Ashley and Quavius, oh my god. I used to read The Cartel by them. First of all, my mom just handed me the book. It's a terrible book to give to an 11-year-old. I mean, it's literally crimes and sex and drugs. Insane. But the books are like insanely good. It feels disgusting to read. I feel like I've been thrown into the life of mafia bosses and stuff, and I can't. But I really like it and I recommend it so that I can have someone to talk to about it because no one reads books around me and I read books all day. My second thing, 13 Reasons Why. First of all, Selena Gomez, what is wrong with you? Why were you helping produce this? And then talk about your advocacy for mental health and then proceed to show us that girl killing herself.
Redacting.
I'm sorry. Oh, that was really harsh. I'm sorry. And then also showing us Tyler's broomstick situation. Was it Tyler? I don't know. Really scary.
If I remember, his name was Tyler. I shut my eyes real tight for that one.
I couldn't close my eyes. I was kind of scared and didn't know what to do. I think I went into fight or flight mode and I froze instead. But those two situations were horrendous and awful, and I'm glad that they were taken out of the show, but like the show is still extremely triggering, especially for someone who also wanted to redact themselves in high school. Third, and I get you wholeheartedly. It took me minimum 9 years to actually create a relationship with my mom. I do live with her now. We're doing great together, but it took me a really, really long time. She did me real dirty for a long time. But I appreciate that we're both moving forward and that we're beautiful. I do, however, know that if she hears me talking about this, she will get angry. So I'm glad my door is closed. But yeah, I love all of you. I'm sorry for not redacting that. But I will leave the panel now. Please read that book. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm sorry, one more thing. We were talking about ABC shows. A really good one was Switched at Birth. I do watch that often. It's fantastic. I think that Bay, whoever played her, is a better actor than her sister. I don't know why I needed to say that, but I did. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Jay, I see your question. It's like filtering y'all's questions out. Let me approve it. Hold on real quick. Jay said, I'd like to know why mother-daughter relationships seem to be so complex. Any thoughts? A lot of parents in general will often parent out of their trauma. I think it should be required, and I say this as a parent that used to, I think it should be required that all parents go to therapy first.
Yep.
I think it would actually help you to work through your shit before you start trying to be somebody else's parent. I think that too often parents think that if I just do better than my parent, then I'm doing good, rather than actually figuring out what would actually be good parenting. And I think that sometimes, again, because you're parenting out of your trauma, you are responding to your child, and I'll speak to mother daughters in that way, right? Because they share a gender, you're responding to your child in a way that is reflective of whatever your experience was. And there's a lot of projection that happens. And so if you were disliked by your mom, or you had certain expectations from your mom, right, then you might project that onto your child due to your own traumas. And so a lot of parents need to work through their own shit. This is why when kids get sent to me for therapy, I want to hear about, well, I'm already a systems therapist, so I'm going to be curious about your family anyway. But a lot of times parents want you to fix their kid, when really what it is they need to do their own work as well. They need to do work as a family. It is not about just the kid. It's never just about the kid. The kid is responding to whatever's happening in their environment. And a lot of parents don't want to hear that or to deal with that. And so they send their kids to you like, okay, make them better. And it's like, actually, I'm going to make them better by you sitting in here and learning some shit. And so different therapists will take different approach. A lot of therapists will make it a requirement that parents come in after, like, okay, I do 3 sessions with the kid, and then you have to come in for a session. Then 3 sessions with the kid, then you come in. So like every therapist will have a different way that they approach that. You're welcome, Jay. But a lot of it just boils down to parenting out of their trauma rather than out of like a healed space. Okay, Bat, I know you had some thoughts that you wanted to share.
Yeah, I kind of forgot what I was going to say before, but I will respond to what you were just saying about like people parenting out of their trauma. Like, my mom passed away, and she was a saint, but there were a lot of times where I think my grandma wasn't very open about her and like my uncles being very open about their emotions and how they were feeling about things. So I noticed that she didn't have a lot of patience for like when I would cry or get really emotional, because she's never really been a crier. And I noticed that now I am very like, it's very seldom that I will really express my emotions, because I was always told like, you don't need to cry, it's fine, it's okay. And not in like she didn't mean it in like you shouldn't cry because there's nothing wrong with you way, but it was just like she didn't really like hearing people cry. So I definitely can relate to that. And ever since she passed, I've noticed that my dad is a little more open about how he feels about stuff. And I've tried to convince him, like, maybe we should go to, like, some kind of counseling together, just because we've been through a lot in the last couple years. And he's always been, like, staunch on, no, I don't need to talk to anyone else. What's someone else going to do for me that I can't do for myself? And I've noticed that because he sees how it affects me, that he's starting to become a little more open to it. So I definitely think that like therapy for parents would be so beneficial for a lot of people. So I definitely agree with that.
Thank you for your thoughts. Sterling, you had thoughts that you wanted to share as well. And then I'm going to rotate out my panel, y'all.
Okay, no worries. I know everyone is tired of the Love Island talk. I do. But I wanted to just say something about what Anne said because I feel like the public opinion is kind of swaying kind of harsh, and I don't want us to get lost one way or the other, because now everyone is saying that Amaya, and we're going to call her Helga, where everyone is saying that Amaya and Helga are on the same level, and it's kind of like when Anne was saying like, oh, Austin did this interview and he's saying that she cussed him out, and it's like, yeah, because you dogpiled her. And does Amaya have things that she should work on? Absolutely. But I don't feel like her emotional responses, as negative as they are, have the same um, toxicity or intention that Helga's has. And I feel like when everyone's saying that they're the same, like, do I think she has harmful behavior? Yes. But I believe that intentionality with Helga very is one of the main things that makes her so unlikable. And I feel like when everybody goes like, "Oh, Amaya and Helga are now the same," it kind of downplays Helga's behavior, and it doesn't actually address the things that she's done that are actually harmful. Because what we saw Amaya like crying a lot, yeah, but we saw Helga actually trying to coerce someone, and we saw her being verbally abusive without any reason, right? And so I don't feel like Amaya's reactions are the same as Helga's trying to be like Helga attacking. And that's all I have to say.
I appreciate it, Sterling. I will say, much like the commenters, I do disagree. I'm definitely one of those people that was like, Amaya and Papaya and Helga are the same person in a different font. And I think what happens is that people get caught up in Papaya like being emotional or crying or her like coming back and apologizing. And I think that they don't understand, right? Like Papaya, what Austin said, for clarity, because someone did put it in here. She a lot of the cussing out was happening when cameras were down, but also that moment in the challenge when she was doing the cussing out, he was saying that she was doing that in response to his and Ace's conversation. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, right? He and Ace were going at it and she was saying stuff. So then he says, Amaya, butt out. He was saying, but y'all didn't see that. All you heard me say was butt out, right? So it's like we got a very curated version of her, but her choosing to, and I've said this before, I'm infamous for saying this, y'all, okay, that she will do the thing and then she'll apologize and people will be like, oh my God, she's changed, because they don't see her do it with that person again, but it's because she's moved on to the next person to do it to. And then she apologizes to them and then she doesn't do it to them anymore. So then she moves on to the next person to do it to. And so I do think that there was a lot of infantilizing that she did of her own self, which can be a manipulation tactic for sure. I don't know if that was conscious or not on her part. I think a lot of things were happening all at one time. I think she was dealing with the boys having very strong opinions about her, you know what I mean? And so I do think that she might have done this infantilizing in order to like disarm them and make herself seem like less of a threat, you know what I mean? And it still is a manipulation tactic, right? And so I would say that she is, I've always called her like Hilga Light. She's like a diet version of Hilga, right? And I have a whole video where I go like, so this is what Hilga did. This is what she did. This is what Hilga did. This is what she did, right? And I give you like straight examples of their behaviors that are similar, even though it's like maybe a lighter version of it. You know what I mean? And so in that way, I can appreciate people. And again, y'all, like, I always say, you're not going to be best friends with someone that you're diametrically opposed to. And so to the people that are like, oh, now I'm starting to like look at Iris weird, like I get that. Because if she is hanging out with Hilga, which I don't know, I'm just going off of what y'all are saying because I don't follow them, right? But if she is hanging out with Hilga, based on how Hilga has acted and behaved, that's who your friend is? Like, I just can't personally believe that your views are that different from that person, right? And this has been my criticism about Nick with 3D, right? It's like, okay, at some point you have to be like, as a man, I just don't align with that. I don't think, regardless of how you treat Alandria, right? Because even outside of Alandria, he's a fucking weirdo, right? So it's like, at some point you have to be like, that just doesn't vibe with how I move as a man, as a person, right? And so I wouldn't be friends with someone that does like that. You know what I mean? Or behaves that way. Yeah, your friends are a reflection of you, right? So I have the same critique for even my faves, y'all. Nobody is safe. Exactly. That's the part, Whitney. That whole situation, regardless of whatever else, you said you were going to say something because I told you that this had happened. Why didn't you? And the fact that people can still be like, we're besties, we're two peas in a pod with someone that moves like that, to me, that is indicative of parts of your character as well. T, I feel that. So T says, never trusted Iris. So I have infamously said before that when Family Day happened, I made a post and I was like, I think that Iris actually might be much more conservative than people realize, like openly, right? Because she's not talking about it. But what we heard Hannah say about TJ and why they weren't a good fit and why she doesn't fuck with Charlie, the fact that she was booed up with TJ is like, do you have some of those same views? So yeah. Okay, I have a new panel of folks that want to join. I'm going to bring y'all up and let you share your thoughts. And then y'all, I'm only going to hang out for a little bit longer. Please continue to like the live while you're in here. I know that we are deviating a lot from Love Island, but I mean, aren't y'all exhausted of them yet? Aren't y'all tired of them? Y'all ain't sick of them yet? Her face also was very shady when Nick's mom hugged Alandria. Miriam said, never sick of them. Oh, Patra, thank you. I really want us to have a little bit of diversity. Like, I mean, especially like if we're going to talk about Love Islanders, I don't want to talk about Alan no more. I feel like at this point, we all know what that is, right? Like at this point, we're clear. And I don't feel like we need to keep talking about it. It feels like the dead horse. Hi, Rachel. I agree, Jen. It feels like the dead horse that I don't think we need to keep like beating. Sass, you know, I hear you about wanting to talk about Love Island UK. I don't watch it. It'd be too anti-black for me. It'd be too anti-black for me. I can't do it. I just know it's going. There's some things I just will not do to my nervous system.
Was there something specifically that happened that was anti-black on the UK version?
I heard you. You can wait till I'm done. Okay. For me, yeah, I'm gonna be watching Love Island games. I don't like the way that they engage with the black women, Whitney, personally. I don't like the way it's usually like the way the black women are almost like an afterthought, the way they're not like, it just gives, we're putting you in here so that we have diversity, even though we know nobody's going to choose you. And to me, I don't like feeling like black women are being set up to be embarrassed. I don't like that personally.
Okay. Oh, because I was going to watch the season with Whitney on there, because she's named after me. My mom and her are best friends, and so I was born first, and she's named after. So I was going to try and support her, but if they're doing nothing but being horrible to black women on there, I don't think I'm going to support.
I mean, look, I guess, listen, not he's suing Whitney. See, that's what I'm talking about. That be that shit, yo. That be that shit. I think that all the people talking about bullying need to watch Love Island UK if they want to see real bullying.
Those were the early 2000s.
Yeah, I heard the Chalet Senpai. That was weird, given he knows that that's Nick Alandria like nation talk, and that was because they weren't coupled up. Like, does he know? Anyway, I don't want to talk about him no more. Okay, Erica, will you please share your thoughts with us?
Hi, I just want to say I love you. I've never been in anybody's lives consistently. I don't engage really. I just scroll and doom scroll and go out. So that means I truly enjoy your content. I love it so much.
Thank
And Chris,
you.
you're amazing in the back. Thank you for showing what black men should be because we ain't got that many. We're struggling. We're fighting.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it's important to me.
Yes. I want to talk about like as I'm looking at all the media, what scares me is this generation of kids who has no way to access proper media for their age. And I feel like, as I can say, as someone who grew up in not really conservative household, but a household was very monitoring what I watched as I got older as I grew, I can tell you the things that I were introduced at an improper age, I struggle with now. The things that was introduced to at a proper age, I don't struggle with now. And I read a bunch of books, media, everything. And I can tell you, even with books, I'm like, oh, my child's reading books. Some books you don't need to read. So Toni Morrison is not a proper book for any Toni Morrison book is not a proper book for a 13-year-old. Leave that where that it is. That's grown folks' business. And I'm scared for them because even like I hate talking about Love Island at this point, but that's why it fears me. It's why it scares me for them to see Huda's and Amaya's actions glorified and rewarded because it was hard to find BGC Bad Girls Clubs clips and stuff if you didn't have cable and it wasn't readily available. They can just scroll and see it, and they're seeing it at a fast rate, and they're thinking it's okay. That's why her behavior is so. I don't even care about everything else she's doing. It's her behavior that's going to spawn a generation of freaking mini croissants and ice spices. Like it's scary for that generation, and I just wish that we could bring back a middle ground for them where they're consuming media at a good rate. Like even when y'all were talking about the summer I turned pretty, there's an alternate to that these kids are reading. It's called Credence, with a step uncle is two step cousins. That's way worse. I mean, and children are reading it, 13-year-olds, and I'm scared. I'm scared for my life. I like, and I'm just like, y'all, it's people don't understand introducing. I feel like they understand, but they don't understand the detriment of introducing things at an improper age, what it does to a child's mental psyche. Like I said, it like it just scares me. I have a young niece, and they think, Eric, you're doing too much. Hey, let me tell you something. I grew up as the social media was growing, and when I tell you the 2000s to the 2010s was the wild, wild west on the internet, the things that I just looked up and said, wow, that's how life we live in. It was scary, and those things have scarred me for life. 13 years scarred me for life because they shouldn't have let us watch it. But thank you.
You're welcome, Erica. Thank you so much for constantly engaging with my content. Thank you for being up here. Yeah, I agree. Again, go ahead, baby.
No, what was you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think that all of that is true. I think that's why it's important. Like something that we have spoke to as parents is what we do with our children when it comes to media. Just making sure that you are, because here's the side, especially in today's day and age, right? Because of social media, it's going to be really hard to get kids away from certain things, right? There was a point where we, like, Netflix and different things and certain apps or whatever, that we had passcodes on them, and what I'm saying, we blocked certain content and stuff when they were a certain age until they got older. But the point is that, like, I think it's important to have, for you to like dialogue with your child about like media and what's going on and what they're seeing, and that sort of thing, to kind of help combat a lot of what they're going to see. Because, like I said, in today's day and age, it's tough, and it is scary. I agree, it's scary as fuck because they are exposed to everything, a lot more than what we were exposed to, right? Now, I will say that, like, yes, we had some crazy TV too, though. There was some shit that we was like, I should not have been watching that as a kid. You know what I'm saying? We definitely did, but it wasn't as crazy. I agree, it wasn't as like crazy as it is today, but I also didn't have nobody telling me that, like, yeah, this is what's on TV, but this ain't real life.
Right. Yeah, I think that again, to belabor it a little bit, Chris's point, right? Is like media literacy is important, right? So it's one thing if your kid is reading. So I'm about to date myself, right? I didn't read this shit because I was never Believe it or not, I'm a marriage and family therapist, but I don't really like romancy shit. That shit is corny to me. But like, and that's my own shit, right? But like The Coldest Winter Ever. That was popular when I was a teenager. When I was like in middle school, high school, that was a popular text amongst the girls my age. It's one thing if they're reading that in a classroom setting and they are breaking it down and they are critically thinking, they are talking about what's happening in the text, what can we pull out, and they're really learning how to engage with media appropriately. But that's not what's happening, right? People just have access to everything, and then people are just leaving them to their own, right? To fucking figure it out. And no adults and no trusted people are having. Y'all are so funny. No trusted people are like having the discourse and the conversation with them about being literate when it comes to media, right? Which is why they lack the fucking critical thinking skills now in order to exactly consumption with no comprehension, right? So they're consuming this stuff and they don't fucking understand what they're consuming, and nobody is teaching them how to understand it, how to pick it apart, how to be critical of it, how to understand when it's a stereotype versus real. When it's nobody's teaching them how to do that, and then they send them out into the world. And not to be shady, I don't know if anybody in my live was on my post saying this, right? But my recent post that I made when I was talking about Alan and Michelle, and I have the picture of Alan behind me, and like everybody and their mama is confused about who I'm talking about. And it's like, to me, that's like, we're not like, what is the context clues are gone. Like, we're not teaching people how to actually engage with media anymore. Like, that was one of the first ways you learned how to read a book was picture books. They would have one sentence and then the picture, and you had to be able to try to determine some of those words. Yes, you're sounding out, but you're also using the picture to help you determine what it says. Why are y'all struggling when that man is standing right behind me to know who I'm talking about, right? But nobody is, they're not, because, you know, George fucking Bush, it is all his fault. Everything is fucking political, y'all, whether you know it or not. Because they changed the way, we don't do phonics in school no more. They're trying to bring it back, and that was the fault of a white woman. Anyway, I won't get into all that. But the point is, the way that they teach reading is different. And all of that shit is political. And it has stunted the development of a lot of children, and they now are adults, right? But it's only getting worse because they also have a lot of like policies around just continuing to push kids forward. I remember when it was a thing to get held back.
Yeah.
Hold some of these motherfuckers back because they don't know how to do it, right? And so, anywho, yes, all that to say, I fucking agree, Erica. Thank you for your thoughts. Lady,
hold on.
hold on.
Shine K XOXO. We going for Coco. That's what we going for. I love Naomi Osaka too, but Coco Golf all day.
Okay, Lady Russell, please give us your thoughts as well.
Hello. Thanks for letting me up on the panel, and I'm sorry if it's loud. I'm driving. But I just had two thoughts. Well, one, do you watch Real Housewives? Because there's situations happening in Miami and OC that I would really like to talk about, because I'm like rage watching right now because the way that they're treating a Black woman and an Asian woman. It's pissing me off to a point where I'm like, do I want to finish the season? And then my second thought was, for the unknown caller, do you think that lady is a PDF file or with tendencies? Because I was thinking like she was in love with like a 14-year-old boy. And that's all. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So I will say that I watch Real Housewives. Listen, y'all, I'm so serious when I say I'm so old, and I really do as much as I can to protect my peace. And so there are certain things I will not watch because I know it will dysregulate my nervous system. One of them being the Real Housewives of OC. I don't watch Real Housewives of New York. I don't watch, I tried to get into Miami for a little bit. Yes, and you can come up and talk about them. I tried to get into that, but honestly, y'all, I predominantly I don't like watching shows where we're going to be a token as Black people, where it's going to be one or two POCs on there, because I already fucking know how a lot of the times that is going to go. And I'm not willing to dysregulate my nervous system to watch it. So I don't have any thoughts about that, but it's why I typically watch, like I watch Potomac. I used to watch Atlanta, but honestly, they're a little bit more boring to me at this point. Exactly, Jazz. Exactly. I will say though, I do, as far as like the mom, I think I don't know her enough to like have like a full idea, right? Especially because I'm like not watching her in a more unfiltered. I'm watching her be very produced. She's being asked very specific questions to talk about very specific things. I will say that when it comes to her, somebody had mentioned like Arrested Development earlier. I do think that part of her is, I worry about, not worry about. I wonder about like personality disorders, like a cluster B happening with her, just because of like the exactly, nobody on ATL is even married anymore. With her being so involved in like what's happening with children, her being such an attention seeker, her being so manipulative, it just gives, there's something else going on. I don't know if I think she's a PDF file. Let me think about that. Hold on. We're talking about the mom, Kendra Lakari. I don't know if I think she's, that's exactly what I was going to say, Sabrina. I don't know if I think that she is one, but I think she has the potential where she could engage in the behavior. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, I don't know that she's like done something that's like, oh, okay, like you definitely are. But like, I think if the conditions were right, I could see her wanting to live out her like high school fantasy and falling into that for sure. If that makes sense. More than I think it's about her even being attracted to, which to be clear, y'all, she wouldn't be a PDF file. She'd be an endo file because they are post puberty, but y'all know what I mean. It's less about, I think it's less about attraction to them and more about attraction to what she thinks that like that time of like re-experiencing that time of life in some ways and being able to do it from more of a power role, power position than maybe she did when she was a kid. Exactly, Miriam. The fact that she kept engaging in his life. After Danielle, we were talking about Kendra Lakari and she's the mom from Unknown Caller. Yeah, I think it's definitely something to watch. It's very interesting to watch her. She's got a lot going on, very clearly has a lot going on. So I would say that. And then Anna's going to come up and give thoughts about Miami. But Whitney, please give us your thoughts.
Hi, thank you for having me. So I have two different thoughts, and they're kind of like on two different spectrums. The first one is about, I know you're just tired of talking about. The first one is about Michelle. I really genuinely feel that the reason why people, specifically people in our community, really wrote for her was obviously because of she's a Black woman, Black, you know, I rode for everybody Black. And secondly, the pretty privilege that she also has. Because there were some certain behaviors that she did exhibit that were like, now why'd you do this? But I think the reason why they wrote for her so hard was because of the pretty privilege. Because let's face it, if she was walking around looking like Jabba the Hutt and she behaved the exact same way, I'm just being for real, if she behaved the exact same way, people would have canceled her a long time ago. It's a pretty privilege. So that's my first thought. And my second thought is, I don't know if you watched this documentary on YouTube. This is actually pretty morbid. It's this woman who was in charge or basically taking care of her niece and nephew. And she basically redacted both of them. She grew up in a very abusive household. She was raped a lot, and her mother basically made her become a lady of the night by the age of 12 or 13. And so she grew up in a very abusive household, all that stuff that went on. And so my question to you was, do you feel that the reason, because if she redacted the girl first before the boy, do you feel that it's because of the resentment she has of being, I guess, a woman, or the cycle of her mother abusing her, is why she basically redacted the girl first, because she abused the girl way more than she abused the boy. The boy, I generally feel, was an accident. And I think the girl was on purpose, but she was lying that was an accident.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. You'll have to put the name of it in the comments so I can watch it. I will say that, like, what definitely could have, obviously I haven't watched it, y'all, right? But definitely what could have been happening is there's that resentment, right? Exactly. It could be a lot of things, right? But it definitely could be like that resentment, right? So you might see sometimes with parents where they'll say, oh, you know, they got it easier than I did, and so like everything is okay. But that also could breed resentment when that happens, right? When you're not suffering in the same way that I'm suffering, and so I feel like you should. And that's not always conscious. It's not always a conscious choice. A lot of times it's subconscious. I'd obviously have to watch it till I get more of kind of a read on her, but definitely, yeah, there could have been like some resentment. There could be like projection, again, like caring for them out of her own trauma. And that's true too, Jazz Bunny, caring for them out of her own trauma, right? And so like, to Jazz Bunny's point, I think it's also important to remember every child doesn't get the same parent, even in the same household. So the way that, you know, maybe the more compliant child experiences the parent is going to be different than the child that has a little bit more to say, right? That has a little bit more pushback, right? Okay, thank you, Jasmine. But thank you for telling me what your name is. And so it's possible, like, again, I don't know these kids' dispositions. I haven't watched the show. That if one felt more, if she saw herself, you know, this is why it's important for people to do a shadow work, right? If she saw reflections of herself, or even reflections of her mother, that may have triggered some stuff. Whitney's gonna put it in the comments for us, because I wanna watch it too. It's on YouTube. But that may have triggered some things in the way that she reacted to the girl explicitly, especially if it felt like it was different in comparison to the boy. But I'll have to watch it, and then I'll make a video with my thoughts. Whitney, do you want to just tell people the name of the documentary? Or you can put it in the comments.
I'm looking for it. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, don't be sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, you'll hang out for a bit and then tell us. And will you go ahead and give us your thoughts?
Hi guys. I accidentally got booted because I went on my laptop and my TikTok is loaded there. So you can't be on both. And TikTok was like, you're out of here. Anyway, yes, I've been watching, so I watched 3 of the franchises. I started binge watching during COVID, Beverly Hills. Then I got into Miami because I'm Haitian and there's 2 Haitian women on there. I'm like, oh yeah, let me support. So I started watching Miami years before they came on, because what happened with the Miami one, it was a little weird. They stopped in 2023 and then they were revived around COVID and they came back for their 6th season. So they took about 7 years off. And I also watched The Real Housewives of Dubai. There was 2 seasons of that one. I think it's pretty interesting. The thing that's going on in Miami right now, one of the characters, her name is Gertie. She is Haitian American, like me. She has a really nice husband who happens to be white, but that doesn't matter. They have 2 cute biracial sons. She just fought cancer and beat it. She had breast cancer. And so in the show, the running theme is that she's too much. And even her friend, who also is Haitian, and her name is Kiki, they called her too much and told her to dial back. Mind you, Kiki is very much extra herself. I think that's a bit of anti-blackness that's going on in the show. Also, Kiki has thrown her under the bus a few times. Like, she said 2 of the friends on the show act like a cult. Kiki went back and relayed that to them. Like, Kiki's always going back and telling stuff on her. Like, Kiki throws her under the bus. I have if I had my notes I would tell you, but that's one of the examples of her throwing her under the bus. Also, like, Kiki was called ratchet by one of her castmates, who happens to be, I think she's Italian European, but she speaks French and all these languages. She travels a lot. Andrina, but she said, I meant to say the word wretched. It just came out wrong, and there's a double meaning. No, don't roll your eyes, Tina. I actually do believe her, but the connotation is, you calling a black woman ratchet. Somebody's like, so Gertie was like, oh, you called her ratchet. That's the other Haitian woman. And so they kind of had to explain to her, like, be careful. You can't call a black woman ratchet, because when you say that, you calling her ghetto. Violet, yes, I'm talking about The Real Housewives of Miami. So when you call a black woman ratchet, you calling her ghetto. I too was gasped. And so they're in Sevilla right now, which is in Spain, and they're on vacation. She's like, no, I meant to say wretched, as in you're acting wretched and miserable. It had the double meaning. That's what I meant to say. But with her accent, it sounded like ratchet. I actually do believe her. Both of them apologized and everything was cool. Because Kiki fired back at her. Kiki said, well, you're old. and then so Andrina was like, so if I'm old, I gotta go home and go watch your kids. I gotta go be grandma. I'm like, oh my God. And they were going back and forth during dinner. Honestly, I watch it for escapism. I know, I probably think my IQ is going down. But yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the anti-blackness going on. I cannot speak for OC. I do not watch OC. I think OC is in LA. I don't know. Beverly Hills is in LA. Orange County might be in LA. Yeah, there's several in Orange County. I've never seen the New York one, which is ironic because I'm from New York. But yeah, I watched Miami, Dubai, and before that Beverly Hills. And Beverly Hills, as a very affluent, LA area, there was only one Haitian woman on there last season. She decided to leave, and there was also one Asian woman. And what I can say, it's a running theme in all reality shows, most of TV and most of America. Let's not be surprised. Black people, Black women in particular, are always mistreated. Sorry to say, which is why I'm glad I found that video about the pattern of the dark-skinned Black women being, at this point, it feels kind of like they're fetishized and they're very liked by fans, and whoever they partner with, they become a star. Hence Nicolandria. I think that's why a lot of people are saying they're fake. I think it's like a fear from the pattern that's happened before, and if they break up, some people might think their fears might be actualized. And yes, Whitney, who is named after the Whitney from Love is Blind. Oh my God, I'm confusing them now. Love Island UK. So apparently I did hear Lachlan wants to sue for defamation. Apparently, allegedly, her Indian boyfriend who had called her racist. I did see Jesse do a breakdown about that. Apparently, he called her skin dirty, and apparently the mom made a racist thing like, oh, go ahead and smile because we can't see you in the dark, which is wild. I would have broken up with him right after that. The thing is, I particularly don't date outside of my race. I'm Afro-Latina, so I don't go past the Latinos because I fear stuff like this happening. And I think that's what a lot of people fear with Nicolandria as well, with the color stuff. So, yeah, sorry.
No, yeah, I watched Whitney's videos on here, y'all. I watched Whitney's videos of like what happened between her and her partner. I think that's wild that he is attempting to sue her for defamation based on what she said. And something important that I think other folks have also pointed out as well is like the response that Whitney got versus the response that Janae got was very different, and is indicative of how we do race differently in the United States versus the UK. And y'all, it's why I cannot get on the Love Island UK train. I just can't do it. I feel like Love Island UK is made for white American people and UK people. I can't do this shit. Okay, y'all not about to have my heart rate up and me cussing and fussing the whole goddamn episode. That ain't fun to me. That ain't fun. I don't like that. Okay, Whitney said that the name of the YouTube is, the channel is called Explore With Us, and the name of the episode is Cops Discover Bodies in Woman's Trunk During Traffic Stop. The channel is Explore With Us, and the episode is Cops Discover Bodies in Woman's Trunk During Traffic Stop. Thank you, Whitney, for letting us know that. Yeah, she's been demonized a lot. And talking about Whitney from Love Island UK, she's been demonized a lot, and I'm just not willing to. I'm not willing to watch that. T, I saw your comment, and I do want to address it. About how nobody should be attacking Michelle for what Alan has done. I don't think that anybody should be attacking her for what he's done. I agree with that statement. I will say that I do think it's fair for people to say, okay, you're fucking this man that's acting like this, or that's your man, even if y'all are not fucking, right? This is the same way that we're side-eyeing the company that everybody else is keeping. I don't think it's unfair for people to be like, hold on, what's happening over there? you know. Thank you, Ruth. And I did say in my last live to y'all, right? Like, Chris and I definitely, he knows how I feel about, like, I do think that she knew how he felt, and I think it's fair to say, hold on, why are you kicking it with that man's, and he's acting like this? And I think that people are saying that it feels like, and I don't know everybody, right? But I will speak for myself. For me, it just feels like a culmination of, I was already, and my subscribers, you know, I made a video, right? Where I was like, I'm working it out in real time. I'm not sure where I stand. I'm working it out in real time, right? And that's Whitney, that's it, right? So I was telling my subs, I'm like, I don't know, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that, and I'm not sure, am I being fair? I don't know. Like, I'm working it out in real time. But then this happened, and it's like, oh no, okay, yeah, now it's giving pattern. And I just have to be like, as a fan, I'm choosing to step back. I'm not gonna attack the girl, but I also am like, no, yeah, I feel like this means something icky. So Bees, apparently he wasn't with Cookie. He was with someone that is another light bright that just looks like Cookie. But I agree. I don't think she needs to get attacked for it. But I do think people are it's fine for people to say, I'm not sure about that, and like have opinions and choose to step back. Is there aspects of colorism between Jeremiah and Chris from Love Island? Tell me what you mean by that question, Ben. Yeah, I'm curious what you mean about like what the colorism piece might be between Jeremiah and Chris. Do you mean like the way people are responding? Is that what you mean? I agree, T. Hi, Bella. Nick and Oship, someone is asking me about, I'm just trying to get clarity on the question they're asking me before I respond. Yeah, because I agree with that, Bad. I don't feel like people... Okay. Ben, so Ben is saying, do I think that there's a colorism thing at play between Jeremiah and Chris, how they're being responded to by the public and the attention that they're getting? I will say this. I don't know about other people, right? But I can say this. I think that Jeremiah is disarming in a way. And I think people generally feel that way about light-skinned Black people. I know that I can say things that other people can't, that are darker than me. That I'm going to get a response that they're not going to get. I recognize that. Because my lighter complexion is disarming to some people, right? So I do think that Jeremiah is disarming in a way to people. I don't know that I really think that either of them are getting the smoke that maybe they deserve. I will say that Jeremiah definitely has been like online, engaging with his community, blah, 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 right? And so I think that, you know, he did get a lot of flack in the beginning. I want to acknowledge that. He caught a lot of flack from Huda HQ as well. Right? Sweet Dollar D, I don't know who you're talking about. I do think that he caught a lot of flack in the beginning as well. Nick and Oship, I'm talking about this. I'm answering this particular question. My live is not about any particular thing. No, that's not what they meant. Sweet Dollar D, if you're talking about that tweet, when they said Shelly is free, they were talking about from Alandria. I will say that Chris and Jeremiah have some problematic behaviors. As far as I'm concerned, because y'all know that I say everybody can get it, right? And that we are the company that we keep. The fact that he is closest to a Trumpy and a fascist is weird to me. That's weird. personally, to me. And so for me, I think that he should get a lot more like questioning around that than what he gets. He's really close with not only Austin, but also Charlie. As told by Ginger, not weird as in I don't expect it from him, but weird that people are not saying anything about it. Exactly, Jasmine. How are those the people that you're closest to? Charlie is, he dabbles in the whole realm of fascism. This is why Hannah was pretty much like, no. So to me, it's like, how are those the people that you remain closest to? It's one thing when you're in the villa, right? It's another thing when you get out and you begin to know certain things and you get more information. I do think it should impact how you move. As told by Ginger, I think a lot of people just don't have that critique in general. But maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe people do they just aren't surprised by it. But I do think that that's why he gets a lot of the support he does, because people just don't even clock that as like something that is like odd about him. That said, Chris is a T Lane supporter, so I don't got no love for that one either. As like I don't have no love for him either. And then I didn't watch the interview, but some people did pay to watch the interview, and they came into my comments and they were like, he has massage noir, like he has, you know what I mean? Like he has a lot of stuff going on too that make him problematic. So I do think that colorism is at play. Oh, thank you, Lady Russell. And I do think that a lot of, and to be honest, I think Chris shot his own self in the foot when it comes to Helga. I agree, Adelaide. I think that he shot his own self in the foot when it comes to Helga, right? Because he went on that podcast and defended her rather than trying to take her to account about the behavior, because he didn't know she was going to go and talk shit about him. It wasn't until she talked shit about him that now on the reunion, he's like, I don't respect it. And it's like, so you were cool with protecting her until you felt like you got disrespected. That means to me, you don't know how to stand 10 toes down. That's weird. And not only did he say nothing when she told him that she wrote that note, the very next night he said Andreina was the fakest. What? Whitney, I don't know what you're asking me about. Wait, Chris does. That he's a T Lane supporter? Yes. It won't let me unfilter your comment, Adelaide, but I agree. It's crazy to pay to watch an interview with him. So it's like, he didn't have any problem with it until she went and talked shit about him. To me, that's a demonstration of your character. So I don't know if that's why people are not supporting him. I think he also is just a little bit less charismatic, as somebody else mentioned, right? He's not doing that. He doesn't have the same level of like appeal. He's boring. And that's what I think, Jasmine, to your point about him saying nobody wants to see an angry man. That's what I think that a lot of season 7 does not understand, that what was so likable about season 6 is that they did show up as themselves no matter what they thought we would think. A lot of them tried to show up as manufactured versions of themselves rather than being themselves. And they don't understand that that's why a lot of them are unlikable or uninteresting to us. Like, I think Papaya is uninteresting because I don't think I actually know Papaya. I think she's a version of who she thinks we want her to be. Yeah, Jasmine, somebody did say that. That Alan said that he really likes to hear about people's traumas, and that goes back to Charlie saying, right, you asked us a lot of stuff, but you kept a lot of shit close to the chest. And then the fact that Alan was like, I know a lot of things about people before and post Villa that could air people out, like, oh, so you're giving I collect bones in order to like blackmail and manipulate and leverage against you later? That's weird. Why would you admit that out loud? He be thinking he's slicker than grease, and he not. That's weird. Um, and then EXO, what do I think of Nick and Landry's relationship after Speedy's live? I think it's no different than it's always been. They've always said that they are dating, and we saw them together in Houston dating. So I don't think anything is different. I don't think that they're any impacted at all. I think that Alandria is grown enough to like not really be fazed by what some outside perspective is around her relationship, though I do think she probably had her feelings hurt because she wasn't expecting that. Do I think that Alan uses his light skin to manipulate situations? Again, I do think that light skin is disarming. And I think that he moves like an LA nigga. I think he moves like an LA man. They're very, you know, like I think that's, and I mean, we saw him do that actually on the show. Like I think he moves how I would expect an LA man to move. I agree, T. I feel like Alandria was one of the few people that did move as herself. We know that she was reserved in some ways, not only because of the cast, but because of how she knew she would be portrayed and projected into the media and how that would be read with her being a dark-skinned Black woman, right? But I feel like he moves exactly how I would expect him to move. Stevie J vibes, very accurate. Whitney, do I feel like they're going to last? I do not think that they are in game for each other. I think that they have the potential for a long-term relationship, but I don't see them getting married. Do I think Janae will be able to let her guard down after this betrayal? I think that I actually hope that Janae keeps her guard up rather than letting it down. I think she needs to practice keeping it up.
For a while.
And my hope for Janae, and I don't typically talk about Janae, y'all know that, right? Not on no shady shit, but like Janae has a hard time. She said, I turn red flags into yellow flags. I think she needs to guard that heart for a little bit of time. I don't even think that she told us that she turns red flags into yellow flags. So yeah, she definitely avoided and ignored some red flags. She said that herself in her People interview. Thank you so much, Camilla. So I hope that she actually spends some time paying attention to her own self and loving her own self and letting her put that guard up so that she can develop that discernment. But I've told y'all before, right, that I really do think that she needs to do, from what I've seen and what she's told us, I do think that she needs to do some work reconnecting to her body. Really trusting her intuition and letting herself sit with what she feels in her body rather than feeling like she needs to speed past it. Personally. Being able to see her on Beyond the Villa and her friends Leah really trying to communicate to her, like, no, you're not being crazy for feeling like it's weird that he won't move in. Like, they're trying to communicate to her that she's valid in that. And she's like, well, he gave a good enough reason where, like, it made sense enough. And I'm like, friend, why did you not trust yourself? You had this big reaction. You're crying. You're sobbing. You're feeling all of this. Why did you let yourself get talked out of that feeling? Sit with it a little bit more. See what might be going on. It won't let me unhide your comment. I hate that it keeps doing that. Yes, she does. She doesn't seem to like sitting with uncomfortable emotions. Okay, there it goes. She uses religion too much. Yimmy, I actually made a whole video for my subscribers about spiritual bypassing and how I see that show up with her sometimes. And so, yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. And I have hypothesized as to why she might do that based on her background. I made a video about it. Some people really got with it. Some people, got in their feelings because you can't ever notice anything about their favorite people. Because, oh my God, I must just want Janae to go to hell and live a horrible life. Because why would I point this out? Like, y'all, they be doing so much. They be doing so much. All once. Do I think Ace, Shelly, Taylor, and Sierra were a part of a big scam? I don't know, y'all. Listen. Exactly, Lynn. I say what I say because I hope the opposite for you. This is what I don't understand is like, and I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I feel like more people need to engage in extracurricular activities. You need to engage in something where you have to be coached. Because I need y'all to understand that constructive criticism is always because somebody thinks that you're capable of growth. When your coach stops giving you feedback, it's because they don't think you actually can do any better. Hi, Jules. So the fact that I'm saying anything is because I think you actually could be better. I think you actually could grow and develop and learn. This is why I don't talk about certain motherfuckers. I tell you all the time, I don't talk about Austin. I don't talk about Charlie. I don't talk about Chris. Like, there's certain people I just don't I don't talk about Hilga. I just don't talk about certain people. Because it's like, yeah, nah. Your character has showed me. Your character has showed me with your recent behaviors that there's no reason for me to really feel like you would ever glean anything from this. So whenever I do talk about them, it's only in the context of like, what can you as the general public take from this? Period, Lady Russell. I don't know if I think that they were in on a scheme, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually give a fuck. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't care if they were scheming to get to the end. Honestly. You know what I mean? No, for real, lady. I feel you on that. Exactly. It's like, I don't give a fuck. The show is over. I don't give a fuck if they were scheming. I don't give a fuck if Shelly and Ace actually did have a whole fucking baby in the house before the show. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Because they've done enough shit after the show where even if that is true or not true, they've done enough shit after the show for me to be like, okay, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take a step back. So whether that's true or not, how they have shown up now is enough for me personally to choose to take a step back. I don't care if that was true. That doesn't matter to me. And I don't really like dabbling in speculation. I feel like y'all know that though, right? I don't really like dabbling in speculation unnecessarily. It won't let me unhide y'all's comments, some of y'all. I don't know. It's like hiding the fuck out of comments today. I think because people are on my last video going crazy, and so TikTok will start to filter comments. And so I think it's filtering comments in here unnecessarily because of it. Yeah. Honestly, Shink, I feel like PPG in general didn't have that much screen time on Beyond the Villa. And I know that they know a bunch of people tuned in for them. I feel like, honestly, it was like Kayla and Liv's show, which I'm not mad about because I enjoyed seeing Kayla get in Liv's ass and be a different human than she was on the show. But I feel like PPG in general didn't get a lot of screen time. So yeah, y'all, I don't give a fuck if they was scamming. I don't care. That feels like such a non-thing for me. Whitney, what I would say is that Michelle started acting weird after Olandra started getting more exposure. Yeah. The most that we got of PPG, like honestly, y'all, the most that we had of PPG was that moment when they were talking about the cancer scare and Serena's anxiety. Other than that, we had like one-off moments with like them, like as two couples or the girls and one of the boys, right? Like we didn't get a lot of like PPG just themselves. Yeah, I think it's okay for people to to see what was happening with them and to say that they're going to choose to move how they want to move as fans, because again, they don't give a fuck whether we're their fans or not. Like, to be honest, right? Like, it's no skin off their back. Hi, chicken shawarma. It's no skin off their back if we're like, oh, I'm disengaging as a fan. Like, okay, so the fuck what? They have a million other fans, right? So like, I don't think it's a big deal for people to be like, I'm choosing to no longer engage with them as a fan. And I think it's weird that I feel like so many people are trying to push this, like, support everybody black. And that's weird to me. Why can't I make evaluations based on what I see from people's character and choose how I want to engage with them? If PPG had their own show, would I watch? Probably not. Probably not. And the only reason why, exactly, Erica, color does not define morals. I give a fuck about how you show up as a person. Y'all know I love Meg Thee Stallion, right? Y'all know that. I've talked about that on here plenty of times. And the fact that I haven't seen her publicly say anything about what her best friend said about Michelle or Alandria, who I think it was Michelle. I'm also looking. I'm looking, I'm watching. Cause what? Yeah. Yeah. As far as like PPG watching them on a separate show, honestly, they're also booked and busy that I don't think they would be interesting enough on a show together. Like, they're also busy. They don't have like the time to just like be together. Lynn, that's not that controversial. Like, again, I love her. And I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Raquel. She's a porn star who also has her degree. She also has like her counseling degree. And she wrote an article some years back about how certain artists, Meg being one of them, use like sex worker proximity to like sex worker culture while also villainizing sex work culture as a way to like gain acclaim and fame, while also still like creating like stigmas around sex work culture. And I thought it was a very valid critique. Again, y'all, even if you're my babe, even if I like you, doesn't mean that I can't be like, yeah, that's a valid critique about them. Antoinette, correct. So yeah, her best friend, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something violent toward, I feel like, Michelle. It was like not long after the BuzzFeed stuff. I don't remember exactly. Jasmine, about Megan. I feel like Raquel like does a really good job writing this article. Like, if y'all don't follow Raquel, she's great. She has a lot of great insight, a lot of great takes. She also does a great job. Like, she has like, she provides like free therapy. She has like a nonprofit that provides free therapy and like, rental support to like sex workers. And she does a really great job. She did not get her license because of various reasons that she talks about, and you can go listen to her talk about, but she does a great job talking about it. So about the sexualization and proximity to things we also say are wrong. Yeah, exactly, Shink. The comments, like, they are filtering the fuck out of the comments on here, and they're not even all bad. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I have to keep like going in and like approving comments. I will say that like, I think it became popular, and depending on what age demographic you're in, right? Like, Little Kim might have been your person, or Foxy Brown, or Trina, or Meg, or Cardi, or City Girls. But right, they say fucking on a scamming ass rich ass nigga, right? But then they be also talking about how they want to be traditional women. It's like this. This incongruence with what you say in your words. And I know that, I think it was Young Miami came under some heat for this recently too. You say something that's the persona that you're creating for the internet, but then you have this, or for, in order to like gain fame and acclaim, but then you also have this critique around how girls should be acting and this about your son and that. and your daughter this and that, right? So it's like, exactly, Antoinette. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got that ring. And then that boy embarrassed her and got on the internet like she does cook and clean, right? So they put up this persona of like, oh, I'm just this like sexually liberated, hoochie ass woman, right? But then also don't live that in their life. Or like Meg, love her, right? Again, love her. And the lyric where she's like, send him a pic of somebody else's titties. Don't trust these tricks because they tricky, right? Whereas like a real SW, a real hoe is actually sending her titties to the trick. Like, and so it's like this, this juxtaposition of like, I'm folding into the culture while also at the same time shaming it. And I think that's a really valid critique to have. You want the real freaks and the hoes to come back. Clock it. What do I think about Olandria saying she dates with intention, and how her and Nick have talked about it? I mean, I think that's great. I think that makes sense because she's 27. It's interesting watching her 27 versus Michelle's 27, and they feel different to me. Nick does not follow Hula Hoop anymore. He unfollowed her like maybe, I don't know, 24, 48 hours after reunion aired. But their 27s feel very different with the way that they are navigating them. Yeah, Alandria did say that she wants to like, at least in the villa, in 3 years, she wanted to like have children and have a family. Listen, Lynn, people don't want to hear that. No, not Michelle. Alandria said that. Alandria said that I think in the villa, like in the next 3 years, that she wanted to like have children and a family or something like that. Exactly, Camilla. Exactly. I think people just maybe don't understand. I don't know. Well, she's commenting as told by Ginger. I'm just calling her real name, which is Lynn. So if you see as told by Ginger, those are Lynn's comments. Yeah, it's okay if your babe is not who you think that they were. It's okay to say I have more information and now I'm realizing this person is not who I thought that they were. And so I'm going to take a step back. That's okay. That's growth. That's maturity. That's development. But I'm not going to ride with you till the wheels fall off. I'm not that type of person. I told y'all this before. I'm a ride and I pull your ass over because I thought you had your shit together and you don't, ass person. Let me out. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's okay. Do I think that Nick is a red flag or has things to fix up? Rookie, is that a real question before I answer you? Because, yeah, like a whole person being a red flag, I want to know if you're being serious, like if you're being sincere before I answer that question. Okay. I don't think that Nick is a red flag. No. But I have made a video, and I think, I used your comment to talk about some of this. I do think that he has yellow flags. And I've made videos where I talk about that. And yeah, everybody has things to work on. So yes, I don't ever feel like, and I say this all the time on this page, I don't ever feel like just because I like somebody that they're not above like having something. I too, at 39 years old, have shit to work on. So of course I think he does at 24. Exactly. Nobody is above critique. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has something. Exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rookie. Oh, everybody drop in. Who's your favorite reality TV star? Mine might be controversial. Exactly, Ben. Exactly. And I've made some videos about that. Okay, Jasmine. Okay. Okay, I see a couple of New Yorks. I see Nene, Olandria, Nene Leaks, New York. Jocelyn Hernandez. You are not for real. Nene apologist. Jocelyn, Nene. Y'all are funny. Snooki, Kenya. Okay. Twirl. Olandria, y'all are so sweet. Y'all are so cute. She's going to be so happy to know that she's people's favorite reality TV star. Portia, okay. Don't make me call Portia. Don't make me call Portia. Y'all, this is hard. Hey, maid, that will forever make me laugh as well. Oh, and Mariah, okay. No. Okay, y'all, I don't know, because of all time, that's hard. That's hard. All time is hard. New York is definitely so fucking memeable. Great with the one-liners. Her half promise. Do you know you have 30 minutes? Like, I mean, it's just very memeable, right? I will say that Nene was the first person that came to my mind. Okay. New York, Nene. Y'all, I can't believe none of y'all have said this. Tanisha. I cannot sleep because of y'all. What? Tanisha. I'm going way back. Who else? I mean, I really liked Portia. I feel like she's kind of a little weird, maybe now, but like early days Portia was definitely fucking hilarious. Okay. And then I think I would give it to, who's one more? See, I can't even do the Claremont twins. Who else would I give it to? Who else? Oh, okay. I know I have a video calling her out, y'all. I do. Not calling her out, but naming some stuff about her behaviors. Not Tammy, y'all. But my last one I think would be Jackie Christie. She's fucking hilarious. That woman is unfucking hinged. She is great reality TV. So y'all see the type of shit I be watching. Alan needs to just get on. He needs to take an internet break. He needs an internet detox.
Nobody from Married to Medicine.
I love Tammy. My husband is saying nobody from Married to Medicine. She is the one that hit her daughter Siobhan, which is what I critiqued her about. Cause I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what my daughter did. I'm never gonna relate to my daughter like she just some bitch off the street. I can't. But a Ponderosa, I'm sorry, a Ponderosa. Cardi was hilarious on reality TV too. I will give y'all that. Jackie Christie was iconic. Tiffany, and I think that all of these people are problematic in some ways. Don't get me wrong, okay? But if we're just talking about them on reality TV, Miss Quad. Yes, I'm a Married to Medicine girly. Portia's a mess, the Underground Railroad. She's so fucking funny. Ocho baby mama, Evelyn. Wait, ain't that her name? Yeah, Evelyn Lozada.
Oh.
Do I think who got bad edits, Whitney? Miss Quad. Exactly, Jasmine. And that's the thing. As nuts as Jackie Christie is, that show does not exist without her. She's fucking hilarious. Oh, the coach from Dance Moms.
She was crazy.
Oh, I still quote what was the reason all the time, diversity for shows. And I always quote, if a bitch got beef with me, she got beef forever. No, they're not talking about Coach D. They're talking about Abby Lee Miller. Thank you. Do I think they got bad edits? I think a lot of these people that I named, right, are before reality TV was as edited as it is. So I think a lot of them that's just how they were. And I feel like that's why I probably enjoyed them. Bye, Wig. I'm sorry. A white refrigerator. I'm sorry, y'all. She's fucking hilarious. I can't. The only thoughts that I have about the Claremont twins is that I hate that they were bullied in the way that they were bullied, because I'm laughing, not at that. I'm laughing at Keisha the Ghetto, because I still say that. Oh my God, she's so fucking funny. I don't care. Okay, sorry, let me go back. What I think about the Claremont twins is I hate that they were bullied in the way that they were, because I wish that they had not done so much to themselves to change how they looked. And a lot of that came from what they experienced as a result of the show. And I hate that for them. But that's probably the only thing I think about them. I don't think much else about them. Y'all are so fucking funny. Yes. So I'm sorry, Nene and New York have got to be the queens of like the one-liners. I feel like Nene is the funniest of all time. I agree. They were beautiful before. She is a legend, Rachel. I use her gifts all the time. Matter of fact, my subscribers, I have stickers that are Nene. Like, she is my fucking favorite. So, yeah. Y'all are so... Now I need to go back and watch the old Real Housewives of Atlanta's. Because, baby, a time was had. I liked when reality TV was just a little scripted. You know, just kind of scripted. Like, damn, now I may as well just be watching a regular ass TV show. No, I'm going to be quoting Nene till the day I die, too. Yeah, Cherie said that. Who gonna check me, boo? I say that one. I say,
Do you see Dirt?
What was her name? K. Michelle. Woo, this bitch is shaking the table. And people had personalities, not manufactured as storylines. I agree. They had charisma, Violet. Yes, the girls were funny back in the day, okay? The girls were funny. Now it's like...
Why are you doing that to your phone?
I'm getting the wax off.
Isn't that new?
Yeah, Tammy Roman, I think, also is a legend as well.
Wax. He'll only call me a dumbass.
Stop! Y'all are so funny. And that's what I miss, y'all. So when I be watching reality TV, y'all, I'll be watching the messy shit more than the love shit. Cause that love shit don't ever be feeling too real for me. I used to fuck with Jocelyn. I know, Lynn. I know you watching her show. Carly Red. It was all a lie. I'm sorry, y'all. The way I can quote these women. Hi, maid. I see you got on your maid outfit. Y'all. So I used to love Jocelyn. She was so fucking funny to me on Real Housewives of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I do know everybody back. Siobhan, we are We're naming our top reality stars of all time. But I have not enjoyed her on her own show. I watched it for a couple of seasons, I think like 2 or 3. I watched the first season of them in Vegas and then I stopped watching. And I think they have one more Vegas season and now they're in like LA or California or something. It's giving pimp. And she needs to heal. I need her to get off of my screen and to heal. Okay? The way she dog walked that girl. Who was it? Daisy? Who was it that she dog walked on the first season? In the strip club. Girl.
I don't think it's gonna come off.
Yes, Rashida's mama running over Kirk's motorcycle. Boy, I just...
Because I was trying to turn off. There we go.
Yes, and that... So I can't watch her anymore.
Waxing right next
I have to draw a line somewhere. You know? I gotta say, okay, enough is enough at some point. Oh, that was the girl on the show, Whitney. I don't remember what her name was. Damn, double homicide. But she ended up fighting her too. She fought her at the little boxing thing. It's a scheme that Todd set up. Y'all, listen. When I say I'm a reality TV girl, I really am a reality TV girl, but I be watching shows that predominantly have people that look like me. Because y'all just gonna be shady and messy. It ain't gonna be based in you being a fucking racist. There might be some colorism, but I'm okay with us having that conversation. But I can't be dealing with Masika. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can hear my kids in the background. They amped up. Listen, somebody went in my closet, Jasmine. That's what happened. Somebody went in the closet. If you know, you know. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I watch Baddies. I watch Baddies and I watched Baddies Gone Wild. But I probably gotta stop. John, not the closet. My fave baddie. Do y'all want me to go just on the show? That's okay. Y'all could judge me. That's okay. You could judge me. Actually, I hated Baddies Gone Wild. It had the potential to be a reboot of Bad Girls Club, which is what Baddies was originally supposed to be. And that's why I started watching it. Because they were going to bring back the OG Bad Girls. And we were supposed to be getting like a revamp of that in a way, right? But them grown now, right? I do feel like Baddies Gone Wild is the closest that we've gotten to that, but they pissed me off with all that bully behavior. Shout out to Bahati for getting her money, honey. They pissed me off. All that damn unnecessary, like you could tell when they be doing shit because somebody put a battery in their back versus like you actually feel like that. And I feel like I can tell too much with Bad Girls Gone Wild that they are produced. Like I can tell that you're manufacturing drama because somebody got in your ear because that's not how y'all came in. So now why are you acting like that? My favorite baddie, if I'm going just based off of the show, over all the seasons, oh my gosh, I don't know. I fucking hate Big Lex on the show.
Nah, yeah, not Big Lex. She's not even nowhere near.
Big Lex is so fucking corny to me. Big Lex gives she is the epitome of somebody put a battery in your back and so now you got beef. I don't like Rolly because Rolly is
A bully.
a bully and then try to like reform herself. And that's weird to me. And not that I'm saying she can't grow, but it doesn't feel real, I guess is what I mean. Like it feels like now she understands she needs to get a bag. And so she's moving differently because of that, more than I think that she actually isn't a bully. I don't actually feel like everyone is a bully though. I don't feel like that. Like I honestly, y'all, if I had to pick a baddie over all the seasons that I like the most, it would be Scotty.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Chris knew I was gonna say that.
Me too.
For me, it was Scotty or Tasiki, and only because she was whooping everybody.
Oh, Tasiki too. And here's why.
Tasiki was that girl.
Because I really like that, like, they stood on business, but I'm not just beefing because somebody wants me to. I'm beefing if I got beef, and that's it. And to me, Scotty, yes, y'all, Scotty is like, now listen, let me say, outside, I had to unfollow Scotty. And I had to unfollow Anna, even though I like them on the show, okay? Because Scotty, why are you dancing to CB? And Anna, why are you in DDG space? I can't personally, okay? My values, my morals. Those are the lines I draw. But on the show, I like them. I appreciated that Anna, Tasiki, and Scotty all know how to have a good time. They all know how to have fun. Oh, you know, they're here for the girls. And bitch, if we got beef, we got beef. So it was always real. It was never manufactured. And that is what I liked about them as people on my screen. A lot of the other ones, like the trio,
Trash.
the trio is trash because y'all only got beef because somebody told y'all to. And then Summer, she just does not know how to be quiet. Oh, yes, lady. Drita from Mob Wives was my fucking girl. Loved her down.
Oh, I forgot about it, right?
Loved her down. I loved me some Mob Wives. Loved her down. Drita was it. Okay? She did not fucking play. Yeah, Summer, she talks too much. Dolly, she, girl, please. Big Ange, Big Ange was Big Ange was the one that passed away. Drita was the redhead whose husband was in jail. That's back when our reality TV was for real reality. You know what, Lynn? I didn't start liking Ivory until she got on Baddies. Because y'all, I was watching the low budget reality TV too. So we had, what was that one platform where Baddies South Central and all that shit was on?
Something TV,
ITV or something like that, whatever. But on that show, they also were very produced. So I didn't like Ivory on that show. Okay. So you don't know where she came from. Oh, yes. Now That's TV. Thank you. So I used to have Now That's TV. So I watched Baddies South Central and I watched her be produced and like manufacture beef with people because that's what they were paying them to do, right? So I didn't like her over there. I liked her more on Baddies because I felt like she now has enough practice in reality TV where she's not doing shit just because somebody wants her to. And that's what makes me like a person on my screen. Okay. Y'all are so funny.
Now That's TV.
Yeah, that's what she said, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I did like, I don't remember her name, but I know y'all probably don't watch Now That's TV. What was her name? I don't remember her name. I'll have to see if I can find it. But yeah, y'all, I be watching the ratchet reality TV. I really do. But I don't do reviews about them. I know y'all were like, oh, y'all, somebody said I should have done reviews about Baddies Gone Wild. For me, it's not too much to review. They ain't nothing but a case study and groupthink. If one person says jump, they all say how high. And to me, that's not really nothing that's not interesting.
I don't even say cunt. Where do you get that from?
I mean, hey, sometimes Brooke, you gotta vibrate low. It is hive mentality.
Well, let's eat ribs for dinner.
You sound crazy.
Bro, I want some ribs so bad, bro. I was watching videos. It looks so good.
Oh my goodness.
I just want some chili cheese fries. Let's go to the store. Get off live.
Okay, all right, y'all. That's that. I feel you, Ann. Baddies is very toxic. I can only take it in doses. Like, I don't watch it every week when the episode drops. You know what I mean?
Money. Did you finish it? That's not even.
We are pescatarians, and that's why he sound crazy back there talking about, can I get some ribs?
Bro, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, but like we get fast food all the time.
Exactly.
bro.
Or let's go to the In-N-Out. That's so close.
Let's
to
go
us.
to the In-N-Out.
Yeah, or the McDonald's.
You sound crazy. You know we're not eating McDonald's.
Hell no.
Whitney, don't get him no ideas. What, girl? Nuh-uh. Get that comment out of here. No.
Let's get a seafood boil.
Yeah. Yes, a seafood boil.
No.
No, remember on my birthday y'all said we would get one? We never got one.
I don't remember that.
I remember that.
Because you changed
Oh,
that
because-
what you wanted for your birthday.
Because
That's
John
not
came
true.
over. Because your friend came over.
That is not true.
Yeah, it is.
That is not true. The plans were already made. It was the day before my birthday. Y'all were like, what you want to eat for dinner on your birthday? I was like, I want a seafood boil. Y'all were like,
And then I said we wasn't going to do that because your friends was coming over here and I was going to have a seafood boil for a bunch of kids.
it was one kid.
Yeah, but that wasn't the plan. All right. Anyway, y'all. Okay, I love y'all. See, y'all done got them started. Set me up, Whitney.
Ow.
Set me up.
I'm sorry.
All right, y'all. So, yes, those are my favorites. It's okay, Whitney. I'm just kidding. Those are my favorites, y'all. I'm definitely a nostalgic reality TV girl. I'm trying to get into Love Island games. Violet, listen, these kids, can we get sushi?
Bye.
Can we have a seafood boil?
Exactly. You the one that brought us to the sushi
Can we get
place.
some pho?
Who introduced us to all of those? Like,
Exactly. Like what?
Can we have crab legs for dinner?
Yes, actually. Can we? Can
that's
we?
my dinner idea.
Can we? Yeah, that's mine.
And they're saying that I introduced them to this, but my manager, y'all,
Excuse?
I'm gonna tell y'all this last story about my manager. I will never forget this. When they were like maybe 4 or 5, I'm like, what do y'all want to go do today? What do y'all want to do? Go to the park? You know, what do you want to go do today? I want to go shopping. I want to go shoe shopping. What?
Okay.
What?
That's not me.
Weird though. Like, that's
not
not
me.
crazy. That's not crazy to say.
Like,
That wasn't me. I don't care.
y'all are wild. That's what you think the answer is at 4. So yeah, they've been this way their whole life.
I just want a seafood boil.
Okay, baby.
All right, we're gonna get it tonight.
Maybe.
But I have money.
Oh, Daddy said
Do
no.
you have money
No.
now?
No.
Oh, then.
Okay, bye y'all. Thank you for helping me letting me be nostalgic. Thank y'all for letting me get that shit off my chest earlier, because then people was wearing me out in the comments. It was getting on my nerves. Good night, y'all. I will see you again on Wednesday.
Unless you won't. Ow.
Sorry, boo.